honestly such an underrated song.
After clinching a playoff berth last night, the Bourne Braves are now in the final weekend of the regular season here in the Cape Cod League and have got a chance to move their way up in the West Division standings here at McKeon Park against the Hyannis Harbor Hawks. Hello and welcome into pregame Tomahawk Talk. I'm Adam Gotkin alongside Cam Manna and Nathan Schwartz. And Cam, last night in the win over Falmouth, very similar to the game 2 nights ago where the power was on full display early in the game.
First inning, you're scoring runs, a 4-spot last night to begin, and now you have 5 home runs in your last 3 games. The power now showing for the Braves, 17 home runs on their season, and it just being able to start early, it relies very well on the pitching as well, gives them the confidence as this game goes on. And Bourne has had no problem these first 3 innings of your last 4 games on this win streak, just scoring, getting out in front right now, and this hitting has been contagious for this Bravos offense.
And today on the mound, it's Joe Ariola who gets the start out of Wake Forest. Nate, he was really good a couple starts ago, but struggled a little bit last time out.
Yeah, it seems like when he's played Wareham, he's really struggled, but when he's played Hyannis, he's been on his A game. And this will be the 4th time that he faces this Hyannis squad here this summer. The last time was something really special. It was that standoff game. It was the one hitter. He gives up 1 hit in the 4th inning to Michael Detallo. Other than that, 5 innings of scoreless baseball. You can't ask for much better than that.
And last night we saw Tyler Fay face the team for the 2nd time. Worked pretty well for him, 5 scoreless innings, so Ariola hoping for the same. And Cam, I said this at the beginning, but Bourne has now clinched a playoff spot, but these games still matter.
And right now it's about playing your best baseball and seeing kind of where the cards fall in these last 4 games. And Bourne doesn't want to think about, okay, we can move up to 3, 2, 1. At the end of the day, you play your best baseball right now. The cards will fall where they will, and then you just want to be in your best position, playing the best brand of baseball when it comes Tuesday.
Well, it should be a very fun game tonight. First pitch coming up at 6 p.m. You don't want to go anywhere. Adam Gotkin now joined by Mason Neville out of Oregon ahead of Bourne taking on Hyannis. Mason, you guys as a team have been dominating the last 4 games, 4-game winning streak, and a big part of that is you guys are scoring runs early in games. What's been the approach to try and attack teams early on?
I think we're just trying to put the ball in play, put the bat on the ball, and it's a game of baseball, and so sometimes they'll fall, sometimes they won't, but I think just sticking with that approach and trying to put the bat on the ball against these elite pitchers is the main thing. So.
And something also that's come with that of you guys taking big leads is Coach Landers has been able to really have a lot of substitutions, guys who aren't necessarily starting are able to get into games. You're not starting today. How do you stay ready for at some point if you're going to have to come in?
Yeah, the way that our team's been swinging the bat, there's always an opportunity. I think we've subbed guys in, and they've been ready to play the past maybe 2 or 3 games, and so just every couple innings, just make sure I'm stretched out, maybe pick up a bat or something like that. So I've been through it before, but yeah, just something like that, just staying ready to play.
And the past couple of games, you've really turned things around. What's been your kind of change in approach, and how much more comfortable are you feeling with the wood bat now?
Yeah, it's baseball, like I was saying. Great competition, and so you just can't let the failure really get to you. I feel like that's how it snowballs, and so just make sure I stay with my preparation and continue to do the things that I know get me ready to play, and just staying confident, staying positive. That's pretty much how baseball goes. So I knew it would flip around eventually, and I'm starting to see success. So hopefully it starts building off of that.
And last night you guys clinch a playoff berth. Still, though, 4 games left in the regular season before the playoffs get underway. How important are these next 4 games just for the team to stay hot and stay ready?
Yeah, very important. We clinched, like you said, and so these next 4 games, make sure everyone's feeling hot. And like I said, I feel like the past 2 or 3 games where we sub guys in and they got their shot, and a bunch of different guys are getting hits and producing and stuff like that. I think the biggest thing in these next 4 games is just for everyone to be ready to play, continue to build off of each other's at-bats, and just continue to put the ball in play and make hard contact. So if we continue to do that, I feel like we'll stay hot, and I think right now is the perfect time to get hot going into the postseason. So.
All right, well, thank you very much, Mason. Adam Gotkin now joined by Sean Brennan here on pregame Tomahawk Talk ahead of Bourne taking on Hyannis. And Sean, this is just the 2nd time this season that the Bravos are playing here at McKeon Park. The last time they won, and that was just one of 3 losses at home for the Harbor Hawks all season.
Yeah, it was also in late June, so it's been a very long time since the Bravos have played in McKeon Park. But yeah, Hyannis is a very, very good team at home. 15-3 this season. They're 7-11 on the road, so not too big of a disparity, but definitely a noticeable one when they're at home. They lead the league in on-base percentage at home and in a lot of offensive categories. Kind of on brand for them. They're a team that really has figured it out the whole season on offense. Their pitching has also been very solid at home, so kind of perfect storm with home cooking. They just love playing here at McKeon Park, but we'll see. One of those 3 losses, like you said, was to Bourne. We'll see if they can win 2 of their 2 games here at McKean this season.
Yeah, the Bravos 3-0-1 against the Harbor Hawks so far this season. But today, Sean, on the mound for Hyannis, it's a guy at a Southern Miss who's already pitched a couple times this season.
Yeah, Drake Meeks, and when you look at his ERA, it's high, well over 5, but that's because of one outing. Came a couple days ago against Wareham. He lasted a third of an inning, allowed 4 earned runs, so you can see how that would really balloon his ERA. But besides that, he's been lights out. His strikeout stuff hasn't been overwhelming, but he has 7 and 6 in the third inning, so very solid there, and he'll look to kind of get back on track after an uncharacteristic outing a couple days ago.
Another storyline with this Hyannis Harbor Hawks squad is just like a lot of other teams, not really Bourne, but a lot of other teams around the league, they've lost some key players recently.
Yeah, and it's Eric Snow that got released. He was top 15 in the league in on-base percentage. He was hitting well over 300, so, a big loss for this Hyannis team that, like we said, their MO is offense. Their pitching has been solid, but they are a team that will overwhelm you on offense, and they still have their star in Kane Kepley, who has been more successful this season, but he's going to definitely shoulder more of that load now that Eric Snow is gone, but we'll see how they can do it. Still a big loss for this Hyannis team heading into the postseason.
Well, it should be an interesting one. The Bravos looking to go undefeated against the top team in the division this season. First pitch from McKean Park coming up at 6.
Last night, the Braves clinched a spot in the playoff dance for 2024, but here tonight from McKean Park, a new quest begins here for game number 37 of the Cape League season. And for the first time since June 24th, we say hello from McKean Park alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. It's the Braves, it's the Harbor Hawks for the final time here in the regular season. And we'll go back to last night first, Nathan. The Braves, a dominant win once again. They've won 4 in a row, 8-2 in their last 10, and they take down Falmouth 11-4.
Yeah, they start out in front 10-0. After that 4th inning, they thought they had a mercy rule opportunity there for a second. They wind up having to play the whole 9, but this team has been red hot as of late. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They've scored at least 8 runs in all 4 of those wins, and the big thing that I want to get into, and we can talk about it throughout the broadcast, this team has completely turned around their 2-out struggles. Over the last 4 games, they've driven in 14 runs with 2 outs.
They start 1-0 in the month of August. Game 2 here in this month against Hyannis, a group that is also playing some good baseball right now. They have climbed all the way to the top of the West Division, 7-3 in their last 10, 5-1 in their last 6. And if things were to end today in the playoff picture, Bourne would come to Hyannis on Tuesday for that 1-game playoff.
So right now we're seeing a potential 1-game playoff matchup, and this would benefit both teams, right? Because Bourne has not lost to Hyannis this summer. Meanwhile, on the other hand, Hyannis 15-3 here at McKean Park. And today, those 2 dominant clashes are going to come together. Bourne's also played really well on Redshirt Fridays throughout the summer. They're 5-1 on this day. So very good baseball game we should have here tonight.
And a lefty at Wake Forest in Joe Ariola will make his 4th start of the summer. He was in that all-star game, and we talked about it during pregame Tomahawk Talk. The great starts against Hyannis, the struggles against the Wareham Gatemen, but here tonight he'll face the Harbor Hawks in Redshirt Friday.
He'll make his 4th appearance overall. First start against the Harbor Hawks was that 5-inning 1-hit performance back on July 12th. That was the standoff game. That was the 1-hitter for the Bourne pitching staff. His first 2 appearances against the Harbor Hawks came in relief, 1 at home, 1 on the road. He's pitched very well against Hyannis. Overall, his numbers have been shaky, but he can get back into a groove here today and gear up for the postseason.
And it's crazy. August 2nd, and the West is fully up for grabs. Bourne, 4 games left to go, and 3 left to go for Hyannis. It's game number 37 for the Braves here tonight. First pitch coming in 5 minutes from McKean Park. It's a West Division showdown. Hyannis and Bourne coming up on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Red Shirt Friday for the final time in the 2024 regular season, and it's Bourne and Hyannis for the final time in this regular season here tonight from McKeon Park. Thanks so much for joining us on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you. Our producer, Jeremy Gay. Adam Gotkin will join us throughout tonight's broadcast. And Hyannis takes the field first in those red uniforms for Red Shirt Friday. And Drake Meeks, the righty out of Southern Miss, will take the ball.
And he didn't have a whole lot of experience in this freshman season of his this spring at Southern Miss. Only 4 appearances. He throws an inning and a third, but he's come here to the Cape, and he'll make his 6th appearance here tonight. That last one against the Gatemen on Monday didn't go his way. Only 1/3 of an inning, 4 earned runs on 3 hits. He's looking for a bounce back in what will be his first start here this summer for the Harbor Hawks.
And his 6th appearance overall, the 6'4", 215 righty out of Birmingham, Alabama. And here's the lineup that he'll face that the Bourne Braves bring together, riding a 4-game win streak with 5 home runs in their last 3 games. Ethan Conrad bats first and plays right field. Merrick Houston batting second and playing shortstop. That's been the change for Scott Landers for Conrad and Houston, flipping in the 1-2 hole. Braden Holcomb bats third at the hot corner. Chase Meggers in the cleanup spot doing the catching. Garrett Michelle, he'll bat 5th in DH. Tristan Becerra playing left and batting 6th. David Lewis, his first start as a Brave, will bat 7th and play first. Cam Kozel bats 8th back in the lineup, playing second base. And Chris Stanfield rounds things out. He'll play center field. And we've seen that switch at the top of the lineup here for the Braves. Conrad now that leadoff hitter, and it did well for him last night. A 3-for-3 performance that we'll get into.
Yeah, just those 3 at-bats all came in the first 3 innings. He really was emphasizing going the other way and just seeing the ball further through the zone, swinging at better pitches. And it worked out for him yesterday. That double he had in the 3rd inning all the way down into the left field corner, you could argue one of the better swings he's had all summer.
Well, Conrad gets set. Drake Meeks on the mound. Hyannis in the Red Shirt Friday uniforms, the red jerseys, the white striping on their pants, and the camo hats here to honor our military. And the Braves in their road blues with the red piping, gray pants, red striping, and they'll go with the gray hats here tonight. Meeks, the righty out of Southern Miss at 6'4", takes the rubber on the right side. Ethan Conrad, the lefty with the black cleats, steps in. Game number 37 for the Braves, Red Shirt Friday. And we're underway from McKeon Park. First pitch up and inside at 6:01. Bourne 18-16-2. Hyannis 22-14-1. The Harbor Hawks the top seed in the West at the moment. Meeks from the stretch. 1-0 pitch. Fastball. Clocks in for a strike on the outer half.
And it's going to be really interesting to see how these 2 teams shape up over the last 3 or 4 games. Bourne, of course, has Hyannis today and that doubleheader tomorrow with Orleans.
Here's the 1-1 pitch to the Demon Deacon. He swings and he fouls it off at a pitch at eye level. 3 for 3 last night before being taken out of the game. Double and an RBI. His first appearance of the summer was back on June 24th here from McKeon Park. Conrad went 2 for 4 in that game. One of the 9 multi-hit games that he has had this summer. Meeks a long look in. Glove at his chest. Looking for out number 1 on a 1-2. Here's that pitch. Conrad chops it right side. There's Augusta at first base. Throws it to first. And that's out number 1. And we'll take a look at this Hyannis defense. From left to right in the outfield, it's Carson Bowles, Kane Kepley, and Josh Tate. From third to first in the infield, Dalton Bargo, Mason White, J.P. Acosta at second base, and Donovan Cash at first for his first appearance. Jackson West, the battery, with Drake Meeks. Merrick Houston, the Wake Forest teammate of Ethan Conrad. He'll haul in from the right side. Meeks' first pitch, spikes it in the dirt. Houston 1 for 2 last night, a walk and a single. Bourne had the 9 starters. 5 finished the game. Houston was not one of them. A lot of pinch hitters in the 11-4 win over Falmouth to clinch the Braves a playoff spot come Tuesday. Meeks working from the stretch. His first start of the summer. 1-0 is inside of the breaking ball as Houston backs out of the way.
And it's always good to get your guys some fresh reps. We talked about yesterday how you never know who's going to be the guy that has the hot bat or the hot hand going into the postseason.
2 balls, no strikes, 1 away. Meeks to Houston. Shin music inside. It's 3-0. Houston comes in a .317 hitter. .467 on base percentage. It's been the 23 walks this summer for Houston. He's the bat in his shoulder. Waves it up. Meek sets, and the 3-0 pitch as Houston shows bunt, pulls back. It's inside at 94, and Houston a 4-pitch walk down to first base as Braden Holcomb, who's been swinging a hot bat, he'll step in.
And it's almost become expected that we see a walk a game from Merrick Houston at this point. That's now walk number 24 of his summer and game number 25. The walks have slowed down a little bit as of late. He's kind of sputtered, slowed down offensively, but he's still finding ways to reach base for this Bourne team at the top of the lineup.
Houston left for Team USA in June. His last game before leaving was on the 24th. Here the last time the Braves were at McKeon Park. Here's the Vandy boy, the tall righty, and Braden Holcomb. Slider low and inside. It's 1-0. Holcomb 5 for 10 in his last 3 games. 2 bombs, 10 RBIs. 0 for 2 last night with a ribby before being taken out of the game in the 4th inning. Middle infield pinches here for Hyannis. 3-step lead for Houston off first. 1-0. Holcomb goes golfing.
Well, Holcomb, the RBI machine as of late, had those 4 RBIs the other day against the Gateman with the home run and the single. Those came in just the first 2 innings and found a way to get another RBI yesterday.
Meeks from the stretch. 1-1. Holcomb drives it deep to center field. Kepley's back at the track. There's another one. 6 in the last 4 games for the Braves. Holcomb's 3rd of the summer. A 2-run shot, a rope to center field. The Braves up early.
And after not having any home runs in his first 30 games this summer, he's now hit 3 in the last 4 and now finds himself tied for the team lead in home runs with 3. He's gotten the RBIs, he's gotten the power up, and right now he's got Bourne in a 2-0 lead.
And we'll say the stat. The Braves coming in 11-0 in their last 17 when they score first. We'll see if it is made 12-0 here tonight as Holcomb gives the Braves that 2-0 lead. Here's the lefty Oregon Duck, Chase Meggers. A chopper left-sided White at shortstop. A backhand, a hard throw to first. And it's a quick out number 2. But Holcomb, that's a pitch at the letters, goes dead center field and into the middle of the trees over the head of Kepley.
What a blast. And 403 feet, 97 off the bat for Holcomb. Definitely one of his hardest hit balls this summer.
Garrett Michelle, a lot of guys now pounding for that home run lead. Michelle had the lead with 3. First pitch to the lefty Hokie is a fastball darted in on the outer half. Now Holcomb has 3 home runs. Becerra, 3 home runs as well. Now becoming a race for that top half. Michelle 1 for 3 last night as Meek sets 0-1 pitch. Back to the heater at 93. Clips that outside corner.
And one of the things that's going to benefit this Bourne team here tonight is the velocity that Meeks is throwing with. His fastball has been anywhere from 93 to 97 in the first inning.
0-2 away, a 2-0 Bourne lead. Pitch to Michelle, low and outside. Comes in hitting .213, 4 doubles. We said the 3 home runs on 14 RBIs. Rides in with a 3-game hit streak. Waves the bat twice. Wide stance, chokes some. As Meeks looks in, looks at third base, and now sets his sights. 1-2 pitch, breaking ball in there, strike 3. Got Michelle looking to end the top half of the first inning. But Bourne, they strike first once again here in game number 37. Braden Holcomb, a 2-run rope over the fence in center field, and the Braves a 2-0 lead early from McKeon Park.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
The Braves a 2-0 lead. Braden Holcomb a two-run blast, as we head to bottom one here from McKeon Park. Bourne up early once again, and they'll give the ball to yet another starter with the lead. It's the lefty, it's the all-star, Joe Arriola.
And the last time we saw Arriola was in that all-star game. He pitched the third inning for the West. He went one inning, giving up one earned run on a hit, 2 walks, and a strikeout. The last time he pitched for Bourne, however, was all the way back on the 20th of July against the Gatemen, and it wasn't his best performance. 4 innings, 4 earned on 5 hits. He walked 4 and struck out 6. We talked about it before the game. It seems like he's struggled mightily against Wareham, but when he's played Hyannis, he's gone 8 2/3 innings, only given up 1 earned run.
And this is the Hyannis lineup that he'll face, a team that's top in the West Division and 7-3 in their last 10. The catcher, Jackson West, bats first. Josh Tate bats second and plays right field. Kane Kepley in the 3-hole, the league leader in walks, playing center field. Michael Detallo, the team leader in RBIs, bats fourth and DHs. Donovan Cash, first appearance of the summer, batting fifth, playing first. Dalton Bargo bats sixth and plays third. Carson Bowles in left, batting seventh. Mason White in the 8th spot, commanding at shortstop. And J.P. Acosta bats ninth and plays second base. Not often you see a catcher bat first. It's a lefty at Florida State in Jackson West, facing the lefty in Joe Arriola. 4th start of his summer, a 6 ERA on 24 punchouts. As the All-Star steps on the rubber, he'll work from the windup. And West waves the bat and steps in. Here's Arriola's first pitch. It's a fastball. It's a swing and a miss at 94. Bottom one here from McKeon Park, already a Bourne 2-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks. Final time these teams will face off in the regular season. Arriola's 0-1, up and inside.
And you'll see the 4-pitch mix from Arriola: fastball, curveball, cutter, and a splitter. We've seen 2 fastballs here to start for the Demon Deacon.
Rocks and deals. Here's the 1-1 pitch. It's fouled back from West, who comes in hitting .281 in 16 games. 10 for his last 21 in the 5 starts that he's had. He's been the hottest hitter on this Hyannis squad. 2 for 5 2 nights back against Chatham. Wide stance, back foot back of the box, front foot at the front of the chalk. Arriola's 1-2 breaking ball, hangs upstairs. Arriola pitched in that All-Star game, 1 inning, 1 hit on 1 earned. Did strike out 1. That strikeout was against Brody Donay, the tall righty from the Brewster Whitecaps. 2-2, nobody out to the leadoff man. And the breaking ball dips low and away. Arriola has it full to Jackson West.
And that's a pitch, the curveball, that can be so effective for Arriola with the amount of bite it has, nearly 2,800 RPMs.
What's the first batter? 3-2 fastball, grounded off the body of Arriola on the mound. Picks it up, loses the hat, throw to first base, and it's just going to be in time on a laser to David Lewis. Got to give credit to the first baseman in his first start, picking up that baseball from about 8 feet away, and Arriola gets out number 1, and we'll take a look at your Bourne defense. Tristan Becerra plays left, Chris Stanfield in center, Ethan Conrad in right field. And from third to first in the infield, Braden Holcomb, Merrick Houston, Cam Kojal, David Lewis at first base, Chase Megger is doing the catching, and Joe Arriola on the mound, just taking a second right there. Lightly shaken up on that liner from West, right back at Arriola, but just gathered himself and had to make that super hard throw to Lewis to just get West by a step.
And it was funny because Lewis didn't even know if he had the baseball or not. He kind of had to look at his glove and make sure he had it, or then he would have just had to start running. And the first base umpire, Jeffrey Merzell, also had to make sure that Lewis had the baseball.
That's why the first basemen have that big mitt. Here's the righty, Josh Tate, with 1 down. First pitch from the southpaw. Fastball once again. It's up and inside. Tate, the rising junior, the spring at Georgia Southern. 298 hitter coming in. 9 RBIs and 7 stolen bases for the speedster. 1-0 pitch. He's out in front. Head turns to left field. It's a 1-1 count.
And at the top of the order is where Tate is most comfortable. He was the leadoff hitter in every game for Georgia Southern this spring.
He's hit in 4 spots in the Hyannis order as the 1-1 is lined. Left field over the head of Houston at shortstop. Becerra throws it to the cutoff man, and Hyannis gets their first hit, their first base runner from Josh Tate. A guy that's hit 6th, 7th in this order. First a lot for this group. Kane Kepley, who's stepping in, was the leadoff hitter early on. And Josh Tate in that 2-hole with that single.
Hitting the ball hard. If you're Josh Tate, 96 off the bat over the head of Merrick Houston, and now you have to worry about his speed at first base. He had 27 stolen bags with the Eagles this spring, and he already has 7 here on the Cape.
Has a 3-step lead. Here's the lefty, Kane Kepley. First pitch spiked in the dirt on the scoop from Chase Meggers. Kepley, 36 walks this summer in 35 games, this being his 36th. That's the league lead. 2 for 4 last night, a 2-run shot. And Hyannis threatening here in the inning early. Arriola from the stretch, 2 looks at first base. 1-0 to Kepley. Breaking ball almost buckled him up, but it was up and inside. 3 lefties in this order, and the switch hitter in J.P. Acosta batting 9th. He'll bat right to begin against Arriola. Middle infield pinches here for the Braves. Kepley waves the bat. 2-0 pitch, ground ball right side. Tough play for Kojal. He'll flip it and go to first. He was coming that way. And going to second is Tate with 2 down.
Inducing the ground balls. We've already seen it play a good role for Arriola thus far. And even though he's able to knock that one down from West, what would have probably been a base hit, you're able to get the ground ball there. Not hard enough for the double play, but you'll trade allowing that runner going up 90 feet to get that second out.
Michael Detallo in this 4 spot for a reason. 25 RBIs, first on this team. Arriola from the stretch, looks at second. First pitch to the righty is a breaking ball in the bucket. Detallo hit .345 this spring at Dallas Baptist. 3 for 5 last night against the Cavaliers with 3 singles. Tate off second base with 2 steps. Kojal holding him on. 0-1 pitch. Detallo ground ball at Houston at shortstop. Shuffles, throws to first base. It's a strike to Lewis, and it ends the inning. 1 hit and no runs for the Harbor Hawks here in bottom 1, and the Braves after 1 here on the road from McKeon Park. A 2-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
Hello, I'm Cam Kojal, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
We head to the second inning here from McKeon Park, and it's all Braves to begin at 2-0 on the first inning. 2-run blast from Braden Holcomb as Bourne brings 6-7-8 to the plate. The lefty in Tristan Becerra, the righty in David Lewis, and the lefty at Arkansas in Cam Kojal. Drake Meeks back in the bump for his second inning of work. It was just that 1 hit, that home run after the walk from Eric Houston, and then Braden Holcomb made him pay. Had the strikeout to finish to Garrett Michelle. The Braves in 4th place, 3.5 back from first, 1.5 back from 3rd place. And Hyannis in that first place spot. 22-14-1 are the Harbor Hawks. Becerra steps in. Meeks will work from the stretch. His first start of the summer in his second inning of work. And the first pitch, fastball in the inner half, a called strike. Becerra back-to-back nights with home runs. A 3-run blast last night, a solo shot the night before. And it's been just those 2 hits in these last 2 games for Becerra. The 0-1 for Meeks. Becerra check swing. Either way, it's going to be a called strike. Wanted the fastball, 95 on the up and outside corner.
And even though those home runs have been the only hits, he's been taken out of both of those baseball games. He only had 2 trips to the plate last night.
As Meeks sets up here on the 0-2 pitch. Just low. Went back to the heater, and Becerra was late on it. As Nathan alluded to, 1 for 1 last night, 1 for 4 the night before. Did have the 3 strikeouts, but all that mattered was the solo bomb. As a .435 on base percentage coming in. Meeks the high leg kick. 1-2. All heaters to begin. Up and outside, it misses. 278 hitter is Becerra. 4 extra base hits. Has that 1 double this summer. Infield straight away, outfield straight away. Nobody on, nobody out. Here in top 2. As the 2-2, it's a swing and a miss. Foul tipped into the glove of Jackson West from Becerra. And it's back-to-back punch-outs for Drake Meeks.
And he is loving that fastball right now. The entirety of that at-bat was heaters. And when he's able to locate it in that lower part of the strike zone, it's going to be very effective. And these Bourne hitters are likely going to have to adjust.
David Lewis, he'll step in. First start of his summer, but pinch hit last night, went 2 for 2. The offering up and in as Lewis backs out of the way. What a phenomenal season that David Lewis was able to have at North Greenville. Hit .369 with 18 runs, driven in on 61 runs overall. 1-0 pitch to Lewis. He chops it into the Hyannis dugout on the third base side. His first appearance was against the Gatemen 2 nights back, just a pinch hit 0 for 1 with a strikeout. But pinch hit last night and 2 hard hit singles to left field that were just absolutely smoked. But not extra base hits, as it was just moving on right at the left fielder last night. Makes 1-1 pitch, drops in for a strike, goes to the off speed this time, and has Lewis in a 1-2 hole.
And it's really just been those 2 pitches, the fastball, the slider, so far for Meeks.
Working quickly here on Lewis. 1-2 with 1 away. Here's the fastball. Lewis skies it, shallow right field. Tate is there, takes 2 steps in, 2 steps to his left, and makes the catch for out number 2.
That time with the fastball up in the zone, David Lewis doesn't get the hands up quick enough to adjust to the high velocity. Again, 96, 97 is where he's been sitting with that fastball. So with an elevated fastball that's in the strike zone, you're going to have to get your hands to the innermost part of your body really quick to get around to that pitch.
That one at 96 up and in. Here's the lefty Cam Kojal. Upstairs, back to that fastball. 2 multi-hit games in his last 5. 0 for 2 last night, pinch hitting. 260 overall coming in for the Razorback. Meeks has 2 down on a 1-0. Fires from the stretch. Breaking ball right down Broadway. Meeks comes into tonight. 5.68 ERA. Just 6 1/3 innings pitched, all out of the bullpen. Looks in for the sign. Likes it from West. 1-1. Great frame from West. Back to that fastball. It just aims low. Just that 1 hit for Bourne to begin in that top of the first inning from Braden Holcomb. Brought in 2 runs. Kojal batting his shoulder on a 2-1 count with 2 away. Meeks is offering. Low and inside. Kojal ahead 3-1.
And for Kojal, just trying to get back into a rhythm. Had that 0 for 2 pinch hit appearance yesterday. One of the 4 times that he hasn't reached base in an appearance this summer.
Meeks, 3-1 in the dirt and hit on the plate. As Kojal throws the bat first base side, walks down to first base. It's a 2-out base runner as Chris Stanfield steps in the 9 spot. But the big thing we talked about, Nate, is 14 2-out RBIs on this 4-game win streak at the moment for the Braves. That's been the big difference right now.
And they had 5 yesterday. They had Meggers and Michelle with doubles with 2 outs, and then, of course, Becerra's 3-run blast with 2 outs in that first inning.
Chris Stanfield got the night off last night. 0 for 4 2 nights back against the Gatemen. The righty out of LSU. First pitch to him. Up and inside. Last time Stanfield was in this ballpark on June 24th. Had a home run over the left field wall. One of the 2 that he's had this summer. 32nd game for Stanfield. Has Kojal off first base with 2 away. And Meeks the 1-0 pitch. Stanfield clubs it to center field. He may have got all of it. Kepley looks up at the track. It's off the wall. Rounding third base is Kojal. He's going to score. Stanfield motors into third base. RBI triple for Stanfield. The Stannies swing to center field. It's 3-0 Braves.
About 4 more feet, and that's another 2 RBI homer for the Bravos. They would have had another two-out RBIs, but Stanfield just misses that home run. It goes 396 feet, somehow hits the very top of the wall, but he'll settle for that RBI triple.
Top of the order, here's Ethan Conrad in a 1-0 count early. And now 15 two-out RBI hits for the Braves in these last 5 games. Stanfield does it to dead center field. His first triple of the summer and the Braves' second all summer, as Conrad now in a 1-1 count. Or third, all summer. Matthew Gravlin, Chase Meggers, and then Chris Stanfield picks up that third. 1-1, 2 away here in top 2. Stanfield off third. Pitch to Conrad. Lines it over the shortstop's head in white and into left center field. Stanfield scores. Conrad parks into first base. The Braves keep it going on back-to-back nights. It's 4-0 on Conrad's RBI single.
And this had been a knock that we've been talking about for weeks at this point. This team's inability to drive in runs with 2 outs. And I don't know what changed 5 games ago, but now 16 two-out RBIs in these last 5 games. This is what playoff teams have got to do.
Merrick Houston, the righty. First pitch breaking ball for a strike. Conrad delayed steal. West throw into center field. Conrad will stay at second base. He'll pick up his 19th stolen base of the summer on a delayed steal that caught West just red-handed and just chucked it into center field to Kane Kepley.
There's that speed that can be such a factor for Conrad. It'll be his 19th stolen bag of the summer, still second in the Cape in that category. And it's been a couple of times this year where he's caught the defense off guard with a delayed steal like that.
Another RBI chance here for a Brave hitter. A 1-0 count with 2 away to Merrick Houston. Meeks looks at second. Pitch to Houston is low. Just blocked from West on that slider. That 2-out triple from Chris Stanfield. You get Conrad with an opposite way single. Merrick Houston 0 for 0. Walked in the first, set up Braden Holcomb on the 2-run shot. Meeks back in the rubber. 2-0 delivery. It's spiked between both legs of West, and Conrad will advance on the wild pitch. Finds a way to move over, even if it's not the stolen bases. Conrad a machine on the base paths, and Houston has him 90 feet away.
And what a jump that was. Initially reading it off the dirt, and he was already headed off to third base before West even knew where the baseball was. And Conrad, even though West had to take some time to find it, still probably would have been safe at third.
3-0 count to Houston, inside, and his second 4-pitch walk of the night. His 25th walk of the summer, and Bourne has runners at the corners for Braden Holcomb.
And once again, we keep going back to it, but Houston's ability to just get on base has been crucial for this offense all throughout the summer. His on-base percentage now approaching 500 once again, as it was a couple of days ago. Came in 4th in the Cape in walks. That's going to probably tick up to 2nd or 3rd by the night's end. And this Bourne team, again, will keep re-emphasizing this stat. 11-0 in their last 17 when scoring first. They got that 2-run lead with Holcomb in the first, and now they keep piling it on just as they did a night ago against Falmouth.
A mound visit here for Drake Meeks as a righty warming up in the Hyannis bullpen. But important to note, too, the Braves, you look at the whole entire Cape League, a team average of 246, that's 8th. The big thing you love is their on-base percentage, 359 coming in, which is 2nd, and that's been a big factor tonight. Houston walks, sets up Holcomb for more runs to score, followed by that home run. Cam Kojal's walk with 2 outs sets up Stanfield. It's the walks setting up the hits right now for the Braves. 1st and 3rd, 2 down here in top 2, a 4-0 Braves lead. Here's Braden Holcomb. Meeks' first pitch. It's a slider up and inside. It was Holcomb's 3rd home run of the summer, his 23rd and 24th ribby. Team lead tied in home runs and a team lead in RBIs. Meeks from the stretch. 1-0 slide step delivery. That slider dipping low was up to begin and now low in the zone. You wonder, too, for Scott Landers, how aggressive is Merrick Houston off first base with 7 stolen bases. Ethan Conrad 90 feet away at third. Meeks looks at first. On the first base side of the rubber. 2-0 pitch. Holcomb check swing. He went around, says Joe Labella, the home plate umpire. A reset here for Holcomb, stepping out of the box. Middle infield not pinching here with 2 down for the Harbor Hawks. 2-1 slide step, spiked on the fastball. Past West, Conrad will walk in and score. Houston to second base, and it's 5-0 Braves. Conrad scores because of his stolen base, advances on the wild pitch twice, and he comes home for the Braves' 5th run.
And Conrad touched the plate before Jackson West even touches the baseball. That's that kind of jump and that speed that Conrad has. And now Merrick Houston even at second base. Another chance with a runner in scoring position for the Bravos.
It's 16 2-out RBIs right now. Currently with this game, what Bourne has done with 2 outs. As Holcomb ropes one to right center field. Here comes Tate in right center. He'll rob Holcomb of yet another hit. But not after the Braves pick up 3 runs in this second inning. Chris Stanfield an RBI triple. Conrad and Houston help out the party. And Bourne, after 1.5 on the road against the number 1 team in the West Division, it's a 5-0 lead.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
This has been some kind of offensive clinic for the Braves these last 5 nights. A 5-0 lead early. The Braves last night with 4 runs in the first, 3 in the second on a 7-0 lead. Just dominating right now on the offensive side to give way to their pitching staff as Joe Arriola takes them out here in bottom 2. It's 5-6-7. Here's Donovan Cash, the righty, out of Kennesaw State. His first at-bat of the summer and his first appearance with the Harbor Hawks. Arriola from the windup. Rocks and deals on a fastball in the attic.
And that 5-run spot that Bourne has gotten over the first 2 innings is of importance because in the last 16 games, Bourne's staff has held opponents to 4 runs or less.
As Cash, a ground ball right at Holcomb at the hot corner. Sidearm throw to first as the ground ball was at his face, and he makes the play look easy for out number 1. Back to Cash at Kennesaw State. 23 home runs in his first 3 seasons. That's 5th in program history. As Dalton Bargo, the rising junior out of Tennessee, will step in. One of the 4 lefties in this lineup. They've gone righty heavy against Joe Arriola at Wake Forest. But this Braves pitching staff sometimes doesn't get as much credit for what this offense has done, but we just heard that stat from Nathan, just perfect to sum up what this Bourne staff has done. First pitch to Bargo is low and inside.
And they've only allowed 3 runs against Hyannis in the last 3 meetings. In that first one, the tie, it was 6 runs. But right now, Bourne's got to be feeling pretty good about themselves.
1-0 to Bargo. Goes fishing on an off-speed that was low and outside. .215 hitter coming in, 6 extra base hits, 4 doubles. 1 for 4 last night with a solo blast, his second homer of his summer. Arriola back to the windup. 1-1 delivery. Power on power. Wins the battle at 93 as Bargo wanted to send this ball over the right center field wall. Arriola in that first inning, 1 hit, no runs. Got 3 ground outs, no strikeouts. Here's the 1-2 to Bargo. He fouls it out of play towards the left field grandstands. This summer for Hyannis, 15-3 here at home. They've lost once to the Braves and twice here at home to the Kettleers. Arriola sets up. The 1-2 pitch. And cannot get on top of the curveball. Hangs up and inside.
He hasn't had a great feel for that curveball so far, but that fastball and the cutter are really doing him pretty well so far.
Playing third base tonight is Bargo. Bat in his shoulder, wide stance with 2 strikes. And Arriola's 2-2 pitch. Back to the breaker. It's fouled off. For Dalton Bargo, those Tennessee Vol fans will know, had 2 home runs against Evansville to send that Tennessee team to the College World Series. That was on June 9th, and then the Vols would go on to be national champs. Another 2-2 pitch, Arriola the fastball, and it swung out of play from Bargo down the left field line. A really good at-bat here for the third baseman. 7th pitch of the AB coming up. Or 8th pitch, excuse me. He digs back in, Arriola looking for out number 2, and maybe his first punch out. The 2-2, it buckled up Bargo on the heater, but it was just low and inside.
And now Arriola can go to any of his pitches. He was able to throw that curveball for a strike 2 pitches ago. Has loved going to that fastball low in the zone as well.
His 3-2 pitch. It's a hard ground ball down the first base line, but foul. Great AB here for Bargo as Arriola was in such a strong rhythm. 10th pitch of the at-bat here to Bargo. Has only worked 7 walks this summer on 28 strikeouts. Can Arriola do it this time? 3-2, 1 away here in bottom 2. Nobody on for the Harbor Hawks. Here's the pitch, and it hits Bargo right on the back. Between the 3 and the 0 on his red jersey, and the second base runner here tonight for Hyannis.
It's the second time that Bargo gets hit by a pitch here this summer, and for Arriola, just that cutter really never had a chance to cross the plate. It would have been ball 4 regardless. Now you just got to hunker down, reset, and try to get that ground ball here against Carson Bowles.
The left fielder here tonight, 9th game of his summer. The righty with the narrow stance. Arriola from the stretch. First pitch in there for a strike. Middle infield pitching here for Bourne on a 5-0 lead. A 2 spot in the first, a 3 spot in the second inning on 3 hits. 2-step lead for Bargo. Arriola, 0-1 pitch. It's low, meagers the block, goes down to both knees. Bowles is 6 for 23, a double and 3 RBIs. 0 for 2 in his last appearance, 2 nights back with 2 walks against the Chatham Anglers. Arriola picks over to first base. Low throw to Lewis, has to go through his left side. And that 1 hit for the Harbor Hawks, still looking for that run here. Top team in the West Division. They've been fantastic, 5-1 in their last 6. 1-1. Arriola, it's inside. Back to that fastball. It's a 2-1 count. And it even shows, too, right now what Bourne has been able to do. It's not been against bottom feeders in both the East and West Division. They took down Katuitt on Friday, an 8-1 win, and right here against the number 1 team in the West, 5-0 lead. Arriola hangs up the fastball. It's a 3-1 count to Carson Bowles. Mason White waits on deck. Bottom of this Hyannis order.
And even though yesterday for Bourne you're facing Falmouth, who's in 5th place in that West Division, and they will be the 5th place team, you're still facing a guy in Parker Coyle who's had a lot of success against you this summer. You're able to jump on him for 7 runs in the first 2 innings, and you just never took your foot off the gas in that game.
3-1, 1 away, and a runner on. Arriola, fastball inside. It's a 5-pitch walk to Carson Bowles. He'll head down to first base. Bargo to second. The hit by pitch and the walk to begin in this second inning for Arriola. He'll now have to get through Mason White, but not to start Arriola one into this inning. Had that first out to Donovan Cash and has now lost the zone.
And now in this spot, you really just have to emphasize getting that fastball back, locate at the bottom of the zone. You can still get that double play via the ground ball as you have a favorable left-on-left matchup.
Mason White, his first swings here tonight. Arriola breaking ball, that's low and outside. 27th game for White, struggling and hitting 159. 14 hits, 5 have been doubles. As a crucial RBI chance here as the Harbor Hawks down 5-0. 1-0. Back to the breaker is Arriola. Spits on the outside corner as Chase Meggers, the Oregon Duck, and his battery will talk to him on the mound. This Hyannis team, especially at home, can strike for big numbers at any moment. And 5-0 this early is really nothing against a Harbor Hawks group that we talked about. Best home team here on the Cape. Only 3 losses, 1 against Bourne. That was back on June 24th. Chase Meggers jogs back behind the dish. Mason White, the rising junior out of Arizona. 0 for 4 last time he faced off against the Braves. Waves the bat twice. It's Bargo off second. It's Bulls off first base. From the stretch is Arriola. 2-0 fastball. It's low and outside. Can't command here. 3-0 to the lefty.
Now you just need a get-me-over pitch. You don't want to have Acosta come to the plate, and then the top half of the order in West with a bases-loaded chance.
3-0. Taken the whole way was White. He took himself out of the batter's box. It's a 3-1 count. $19 walks this summer for White on the 36 strikeouts in a 3-1 count. Arriola looks at second base. High leg kick, 3-1. Popped out of play, left side, over the Hyannis dugout. And Arriola, big pitch coming up, looking for out number 2.
And that's what he's done. He's used that fastball as the get-me-over pitch. He's taken a little bit off of it. We've seen the fastball at 91 the last 2 pitches compared to the 93. And now right here, you could go back to that fastball. White a little late on that one. Acosta waits on deck. But really, all 4 of your pitches reasonable to use right here.
Here's that 3-2 pitch. Up and inside, called strike 3. The slider hung, but it stayed in the zone for his first punch out here tonight, and there's 2 down.
What a sequence by Arriola right there. He starts down 3-0. You know you have to use the fastball to get that first strike. Then you go back to the fastball, takes him off of it for strike 2. You get the foul ball, and you come back. You're able to keep White guessing with those 4 pitches that you have in your arsenal. He goes to the breaking ball, and he's able to ring up White on the inside corner.
Here's J.P. Acosta. First pitch of the switch hitter. He fouls it back, hitting right. Acosta just finished up his freshman season at Fresno City College. Hit .403 in 43 games. Phenomenal spring, 75 hits. Just his second game here with the Harbor Hawks. Arriola has him in an 0-1. Here's that offering. Acosta drives it. Broken bat to left field. It's down for a hit. Bargo rounds third base. Here's the throw. Cut off from Holcomb. Not in time for Becerra. And it's an RBI single for J.P. Acosta. His second ribby. And it's a 5-1 game.
And his first RBI base hit here on the Cape. Wednesday against the Anglers, he had an RBI with the bases loaded. He was able to draw a walk. So that's got to feel good for the switch hitter coming over from the JUCO level. Cam talked about how well he played this spring, and he's able to get Hyannis on the board here in bottom 2.
And Arriola's pitch count now climbing. That was his 39th pitch right there. And the top of the order, it steps in here with Jackson West for his second swings here tonight. As first and second with 2 down. It's a 4-run Braves lead here in bottom 2. Arriola steps back on the rubber, on the middle of it. Looks at second base at Bulls. First pitch to West. Slow ground ball right side. Kojal goes to his left at second base. Throws to first, and it ends the inning. But not after Hyannis gets one back here in bottom 2. 1 hit on the RBI single from J.P. Acosta. And Hyannis, a 4-run game as we head to the 3rd here from McKeon Park.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. A Harbor Hawks call to the bullpen here on the top of the third inning from McKeon Park on this beautiful Friday night, Redshirt Friday. The Braves 5-1 on this type of day and a 5-1 lead here to begin. Hyannis goes to the righty out of Texas Arlington at 6'4". It's Joe Stieber for his second appearance here for Hyannis.
And that last one was a week ago against the Whitecaps where Stieber picks up the save. He did give up 2 earned runs on 2 hits in that 9th inning at Stony Brook Field, but able to get those final 3 outs that Hyannis needed to take a win into the All-Star break.
Just finished up his redshirt junior season, made 21 appearances for Texas Arlington. Struck out 22 batters in 26 and 2/3 innings pitched. He'll face 4, 5, 6 for the Braves. It's the lefty Chase Meggers, the lefty Garrett Michelle, and yet another lefty in Tristan Becerra against the righty here in Stieber. As Drake Meeks, his night will come to a close. It was a rough one in his first start of the summer and his 6th overall appearance. 2 innings, 3 hits, 5 runs, all of them earned on 3 walks and 2 strikeouts with a home run to Braden Holcomb.
And then, again, it's the 2-out RBIs for Bourne, 3 of them in that 2nd inning.
Stieber to Meggers. First pitch grounder right at first base for Cash. He'll flip to Stieber, and it's a 1-pitch, 1-out for him to begin out of the pen.
Exactly what you want to do. Focus in on that fastball to start your outing. You're able to get a rollover against the lefty and Meggers.
And Meggers now 0 for 2 tonight with 2 ground outs. Garrett Michelle 0 for 1, struck out to end the first inning. The Hokie looking to get himself going. First pitch, fastball low in the zone. Michelle comes in riding a 3-game hit streak. 1 for 3 with a double last night on 2 RBIs. The double could have been the Mercy Rule winner late in that game. As the 1-0 spiked almost off the foot of Michelle. It was David Lewis rounding third base. Scott Landers gave him the wave. Would have been that 10th run, but gunned out at home plate. On Michelle just roping maybe the perfect hit you need in a spot like that down the left field line. A deep breath from Stieber from the windup. 2-0 delivery, and Michelle way out in front on a pitch that was middle, but a changeup at 83.
Looked like Michelle expecting something a little quicker there, probably the fastball, but it's buckled up.
Stieber's 2-1. A breaking ball just misses into Michelle. He holds off in a 3-1. 213 hitter, 4 doubles, 3 home runs. Looking to get on base for the first time tonight. Stieber's 3-1 delivery. Michelle goes the opposite way. A laser to Bowles in left, and he leaps and he made the catch. It was right at Carson Bowles in left field. Not much better you could hit it for Garrett Michelle. A low liner, and Bowles makes the catch for out number 2.
96 off the bat. That's nearly identical to the swing he had against Brewster a couple weeks back where he was able to get one over the fence for what was his first home run of the summer. And right there, unfortunately, just a perfect position for Bowles out in left field.
Tristan Becerra with 2 down here in top 3. Stieber goes up and outside, a 1-0 count. 3 runs in that second inning for the Braves, 2 in the first on this 5-1 lead, and 3 hits overall for the Braves. Becerra 0 for 1, a strikeout back in the second, and looks at a pitch here. It's a 2-0 count. Back-to-back games for home runs with Becerra, and the Braves now with 6 home runs in these last 3 games. 2-0. Becerra swings through one, out in front on a similar pitch that Michelle was also way out in front of. Front shoulder going towards right field.
And Becerra, he's been very steady in this lineup, has gotten on base in all but 2 games.
Stevers 2-1. Slider low and out, 3-1 count.
He's played in 12. He's gotten on base in 10. Only 1 multi-hit game this summer for Becerra, and that was all the way back on the 10th of July in his first game of the summer.
Those 4 extra base hits, 3-1. Becerra chops at 1, and it's a full count. 278 hitter coming in as Joe Stieber out of the pen for his second appearance of the summer, looking for a 1-2-3 and to quiet this Braves offense. Here's the payoff pitch to Becerra. Swing and a miss. That slider low and outside. Becerra just can't handle it. He'll go down for the second time. Third time a Braves hitter strikes out, and the first here for Stieber out of the bullpen. We've been through 2.5 here from McKeon Park. The Braves in front of the Harbor Hawks, 5-1 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
The Bourne offense, they're quieted down in the top half of the third inning from Joe Stieber, but the Braves a 5-1 lead, and we had the bottom 3 here from McKeon Park on a wonderful Friday night. Thanks for joining us alongside Nathan Schwartz, Cam Manna with you, and 2-3-4 for Hyannis as Joe Arriola back on the bump for his third inning of work. 1 strikeout so far, 2 hits, and 1 run. That 1 run came in the second inning. Here's the righty Josh Tate playing right field, as Arriola rocks and deals from the windup. First pitch fastball in there for a strike. Tate singled in that first inning. He was stranded at second base. The All-Star, middle of the rubber. And here's the 0-1 pitch. Right down Main Street, 0-2.
And again, that fastball has been the go-to for Arriola here tonight. No reason why he shouldn't stick with that as his starting pitch throughout each bat.
And the 0-2, back to the heater, and swinging through it is Tate. It's the second strikeout for Joe Arriola, and yet again another leadoff base runner goes down. Every single one has been down via an out from Joe Arriola.
It was Jackson West grounding out back to Arriola in that first inning. Donovan Cash grounds out to Holcomb at the hot corner in the second, and now Arriola with his second strikeout to start the third.
Here's the lefty Kane Kepley. Lefty on lefty. First pitch fouled back. 2 for 4 last night was Kepley on a solo blast. Had 2 RBIs in the win over Katuitt to give Hyannis this first place spot. 4 games left for the Braves, 3 for Hyannis entering tonight's game. As time called here, Joe LaBelle, the home plate umpire, telling the Hyannis bat boy to grab some kind of object that is right behind home plate. It looks like just this little black object that was connected to the crowd mic for the Hyannis broadcast. Our crowd mic seems fine and okay. Not a baseball that was on the field behind home plate. As Kepley steps back in, 0-1 count. Arriola delivers. Slider hangs with the letters, 0-2.
And for Arriola, now he's starting to get back into that rhythm. The curveball's working, the cutter's working, and the fastball has been his best pitch.
0-2, goes to the breaker. Going fishing is Kepley. Back-to-back via the K for Arriola. Kepley's 0 for 2, and Arriola looking for his first 1-2-3. He'll have to get through Michael Detallo.
Just wicked movement on that 12-6 curveball by Arriola. 2,700 rotations on that one. 78 miles an hour. It starts belt high and just winds up in the dirt.
Here's the righty Detallo. Arriola, not a first pitch strike this time. Had Tate and Kepley 0-2 to begin, put them down. 6 pitches total to Tate and Kepley as Arriola came into this inning with 41 pitches. Here's the 1-0 pitch from the windup from the southpaw. A line drive over the head of Kojal at second base and into center field. It's the second hit of the night for Hyannis and the first one for Michael Detallo.
And just going back to that matchup between these two teams on the 12th, it was Detallo who had the only hit that Joe Arriola allowed, and it was the only hit Hyannis got in that entire game. And now here tonight, getting a 2-out base runner for the Harbor Hawks.
It was that one hitter for the Braves on the standoff, a magnificent night. And Bourne commanding to victory. And since then, they've been a much different baseball team. First pitch to Donovan Cash, slider low and inside. Cash first pitch swinging in his first at-bat on Cape Cod in the second inning. It was a ground out to Braden Holcomb at third base. A senior this coming fall at Kennesaw State. As that bright blue, teal blue bat. As the 1-0 inside, or it actually just clipped him. Off the lower half of Cash. Just nicked his jersey. Right by the belt area, it looked like. And he heads down to first base for a 2-out base runner. And just like that, Hyannis with first and second. And this is the part of the order that did damage in the second inning. Bargo hit by a pitch, bowls a walk, and then it was the RBI single from J.P. Acosta at the bottom of the order.
And Hyannis following suit to what Bourne did in that second inning, and that's getting a 2-out rally going. Both their base runners here in the third have come with 2 outs.
Here's Dolan Bargo, the lefty. Arriola's first pitch to the Vol. Breaker. Inner half, it misses. Bargo was hit by a pitch on the 11th pitch of the AB against Arriola. What a battle that was on a 3-2 count. Comes in hitting .215 with 4 doubles. As Detallo left second with the single, Cash off first with a hit by a pitch. Arriola from the stretch, 1-0, goes up the ladder, and a big wave and a miss from Bargo. Now 3 hits for both teams, but the 5 runs for the Braves. It's been the long ball, it's been the extra base hits. Braden Holcomb, a 2-run shot. Chris Stanfield, an RBI triple. 1-1 delivery. Fastball painted on the outer half. It's 1-2. 1 for 4 last night was Bargo, a solo homer. Hyannis could use a long ball right here. 1-2, 2 away, 5-1 Braves here in bottom 3. Arriola looking to get through 3. Here's his 1-2 delivery. Line drive over the head of the first base coach in Hyannis. An absolute laser. It is foul, but man, that ball was crushed. 95 off the bat, and that's not too far down the line. Probably about 15 yards.
Just scary right there for Hyannis all the way around, but it gives Arriola another chance to put away Bargo.
We'll do the 1-2 once again. Arriola, 2 punch-outs this inning, looking for a third. 5 on that pitch clock, a stare down. Now the 1-2, and foul back from Bargo as he continues to find a way to just bother Arriola. We've seen Arriola work relatively quickly, but that time had 4 seconds on that pitch clock, winding it all the way down. 2 runners on for the Harbor Hawks, trailing by 4. 11 RBIs this summer for Bargo. Has scored already tonight. Third base side of the rubber is Arriola. Sets up, 1-2, fastball, called strike 3. A beautiful pitch on the up and outside corner. His 4th punch out, his 3rd of the inning for all 3 of his outs. And we've been through 3 from McKeon Park. The Braves, a 5-1 lead over the top-seeded Harbor Hawks here on this Friday night.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com.
New frame here from McKeon Park on this Friday night, Redshirt Friday. The Harbor Hawks on the home side in the red unis, and the Braves in their road blues with a 5-1 lead over Hyannis. It's the final time these teams will face off in the regular season, but as we mentioned, if the season were to end today, Bourne and Hyannis would be back here for a one-game playoff, and that could happen on Tuesday. As the Braves bring 7, 8, and 9 to the plate, David Lewis, Cam Kozel, Chris Stanfield, 2 righties and a lefty in Kozel. As Joe Stieber back on the bump, second inning of work out of the bullpen. It was that 1-2-3 to quiet this Braves offense in the 3rd. First pitch to Lewis, a breaking ball at the knees for a strike.
He gets Meggers to ground out to the first baseman in Cash. That hard line out the other way by Michelle. Then the first strikeout of his outing.
0-1 to Lewis. Back down Main Street is that slider at 80 miles per hour. Lewis a fly out to right field in his first AB. 2 for 2 last night as a pinch hitter in the Braves' 11-4 win. Stieber, the righty from the windup. Fastball grounded up the middle. At shortstop is White. Aims to his left. Sidearm sling. A stretch from Cash. He got him for out number 1. Cash, what a stretch. The flexibility to the left side of the bag and just scooping that baseball to make the play.
He's got to shuffle across the bag to keep that foot there. And it's always tough for a first baseman that's right-handed to do a shuffle like that. It's much easier when you're going down the line towards the outfield grass, but when you've got to shuffle towards the infield grass, you're likely not as flexible.
Cam Kozel, his second AB, shows bunt, can't put it down. It tipped into the glove. The Braves have had trouble with the bunts this summer. Kozel walked and scored in that second inning. It was such a crucial walk. It was with 2 outs. Set up Chris Stanfield with the RBI triple to dead center. As the 0-1, in there for a strike. A heater painted at the knees. It's 0-2. Drake Meeks the starter, 2 innings. Joe Stieber in his second here. Top 4, a 5-1 Braves lead. Stieber's 0-2. Kozel a dribbler down the first base line, and it trickles foul to the right side of the bag.
He gets a second chance here, still 0-2. And for Kozel, he's not had his best season overall against these Harbor Hawks. Just 1 hit on the 24th, 1 hit on the 12th with a double. One of his 9 this summer. He's looking for that first hit here tonight.
His season's been up and down, but 2 multi-hit games in his last 5. Stieber's 0-2. Kozel pops it up. Shallow left field. Back is Bargo. In his bowls. And it's Mason White, the shortstop, making the catch. Backhanded. Called everybody off at the last second. And almost dropping into the bucket for a single. But White says no way.
And Cam, you painted the picture perfectly. It looked like he was going to be Bargo or Bowles. And then here comes Mason White out of nowhere. And he's able to make that catch on the backhand, almost over his shoulder. Very awkward play there for White, but a crucial second out.
The righty Chris Stanfield stands in, stands tall, and a first pitch strike once again. It's that slider. Working backwards is Stieber. Looking for back-to-back 1-2-3s, settling things down on a Braves 4-run lead. Here's the 0-1 to Stanfield. Check swing. Did he go around? They check down. Jeffrey Merzell says yes, sir. 0-2. And Stieber dealing here. Bourne with 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second. A home run, a triple that Chris Stanfield had with 2 down in the second. 0-2 up and inside. But now 16 2-out RBIs for the Braves. That was a struggle, but on this 4-game win streak, it has not been. And we'll see if Stanfield could get on here to keep that going. The club effect with 2 outs. Ready to have Texas Arlington from the windup. Now a long stare down. 6 on the pitch clock. 1-2, called strike 3. Buckled up Stanfield for his second punch out. Back-to-back 1-2-3s, 6 straight retired for Joe Stieber. And we've been through 3.5 from McKeon Park. The Braves a 5-1 lead over the Harbor Hawks on Redshirt Friday.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Final frame of this 4th inning for McKeon Park. Bourne still in front of Hyannis 5-1 on this Friday night for game number 37 of the Cape League season for the Braves, 38th for the Harbor Hawks. Bourne a doubleheader tomorrow against Orleans. We'll get into that as this broadcast goes on. It's going to be quite some day for not just the players, the interns, the broadcasters, but we'll have you covered. It will be a 12 p.m. first pitch in Orleans and then a 7 p.m. first pitch back in Bourne on the same day. Both games will be 7 innings. As Hyannis here on their feet, honoring a good cause down the third base line. But tomorrow for the Braves, facing off against Orleans, right now being back of first place by a good amount, but only a game and a half back of third place. And that third place team in Wareham right now is losing to Katu at 8-0.
So that means if Bourne picks up a win tonight and that score holds at Spillane Field, Bourne will be just a half game back of third place.
Here's the righty Carson Bowles, the lefty Joe Arriola. His first pitch is low. Out there for his 4th inning of work. 1 run in that second, but had 3 strikeouts in the third. 4 here tonight for the lefty at Wake Forest. Bowles 0-for-0, walked back in that second inning. Here's the 1-0 to him. He drives it to center field. Stanfield's back at the warning track. He makes the catch. His left arm fully extended to make the catch against the wall for out number 1.
And just one more point on that standing situation. If, again, the scores both hold at Spillane Field and here, Bourne would be a game and a half back of first place and home field advantage throughout the playoffs.
How things change here from July now into August. Here's the lefty Mason White. First pitch strike at the letters. Bourne was a team that was 3-7-1 at one point in June. They had 13 wins in July. 1-0 at the moment here in August. As Arriola flips one way upstairs, it's 1-1.
And the tiebreakers are interesting because Bourne will have the tiebreaker over Hyannis, but Wareham and Katuitt would have the tiebreakers over Bourne.
Arriola from the windup. The 1-1 to White. And White clubs it right field and deep. Conrad back at the track. It stays in the ballpark. 2 long swings from Bowles and White. They stay inside of McKeon Park, and there's 2 down.
And for Arriola, kind of now just doing what he can to get through this outing. He got roughed up a little bit in that second inning. The pitch count climbs in the third. A couple of deep fly balls here in the fourth, but the pitch count now is kind of evened out. He'll be at 61 pitches here against Acosta.
Acosta, the 9-hitter in this order, had the RBI single in the second. First pitch fastball below his knees. It was a broken bat single from Acosta to left field that brought in Bargo, the only run in that second inning and in this game for Hyannis. Arriola's 1-0 pitch. Ground ball left side. Houston on the backhand at shortstop. Long throw to first, and he gets Acosta. A nice smooth play from the Demon Deacon at shortstop. Helps out his college teammate in Arriola. And we get through 4 here from McKeon Park. Bourne still in front of the Harbor Hawks 5-1 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning. Fifth inning of play here on this Friday night for McKeon Park. The Braves and Hyannis for the final time in the regular season. Bourne in front of the Harbor Hawks 5-1. And they'll bring the top of the order to the plate. Conrad, Houston, and Holcomb against Joe Stieber, who out of the bullpen has been phenomenal to begin. The first 6 retired for the righty out of Texas Arlington.
And he's finished both innings with a stamp of a strikeout. He got Becerra swinging in the third and Stanfield looking in that fourth inning. And now it's been a stretch of 7 in a row retired for Bourne since that Merrick Houston walk in the second.
Here's the lefty, Ethan Conrad. Check swing. He goes fishing on the first pitch. And they checked down, and he did go around, was Conrad. Singleton scored in that second inning. Was an RBI single. Stole a bag and advanced on a wild pitch to third and home to score the Braves' 5th run. From the windup is Stieber. 0-1 to Conrad, way out in front, waving to miss. Merrick Houston, the righty to follow, and Holcomb as well. The lefty and Conrad. As Stieber dealing in a motor. 0-2. Conrad, the sword. Fully guessing on a pitch that was way out of the zone. He goes down, and it's the third punch out for Joe Stieber.
And you can only help but laugh right there because Conrad knew it was a silly swing in the box. He uttered the words, "Oh my gosh." Looking at that splitter, 83, just some crazy tail into the opposite box against Conrad.
As Merrick Houston digs in, Stieber, first pitch off speed, that was swung off the body of West and then out of play over the netting and on top of the press box. But Stieber is working so quickly, that pitch mix, it's not been just the overpowering fastball, that splitter, as Nathan alluded to. And Houston right there misses a pitch that was close to being middle. He's 0-for-0 tonight with 2 walks as the 0-1 is spiked. And both walks were on 4 pitches, so Houston finally seeing a real at-bat here.
But this is what Houston does. He sees pitches. He might not get all the official at-bats, but you're going to take those 2 walks any day, and it's helped them in both innings.
Stieber's 1-1. Houston, check swing. Did he go? Jeffrey Merzell says no at first base. Just holding back was Merrick Houston. This slider and splitter mix from Joe Stieber at the moment is causing a lot of trouble for the Bourne hitters. 7 straight retired out of the pen. From the first base side of the rubber, 2-1. Low and inside. 2 runs in the first, 3 in the second for Bourne. Quiet in the last 3 half innings. Stieber and Houston set and ready to go. 3-1. Inside, it's a strike. Houston thought it was ball 4. It's a full count.
It's a good spot on the curveball, but a dangerous spot at that, because if Houston is sitting on that pitch and likes the pitch, it's belt high, middle of the plate on the inside corner.
He chokes some, widens the stance. 3-2 fastball, called strike 3. Houston skipping in disbelief. The dugout for Hyannis loves it. Stieber, 4 punch-outs, 8 straight retired.
And he's just painting both corners right now. He's able to catch Houston off guard with that curveball on the 3-1 delivery. That was on the inside corner. And on the 3-2, he goes to the 90-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner. Houston didn't like the call, but that's a strike 100 times out of 100.
Just Stieber's second appearance of the summer. Has the Bourne hitters where he wants them. Here's Braden Holcomb, the righty. Slider low and outside for a ball. Holcomb lined out in the second, and a 2-run shot in the first to get things going. Stieber ready to go. 1-0 fastball. Holcomb, a laser to left field. It's a single. He continues to mash the baseball. Bourne with another hit. Holcomb second here tonight.
And make that now 13 multi-hit games for the Vandy boy this summer. Now 2 against Hyannis. He had 2 hits back on the 12th against the Harbor Hawks. 2 hits here tonight with that 2-run homer and the single.
7 for his last 13 during this 4-game stretch. Likely will be the player of the week heading into the postseason. Here's the lefty Chase Meggers. First pitch low and in, and just blocked on a trap from the glove of Jackson West.
And that single ends a span of 9 straight retired by the Hyannis staff, mainly by Stieber.
8 for him, and the last one from Drake Meeks. Chase Meggers ahead of the count, 2-0. 0 for 2 tonight, 2 ground outs. Went 1 for 4 last night, 3 RBIs, and they were in all 3 of his first ABs. Holcomb a 2-step lead off first. First time Stieber has gone to the stretch, and he's down on the count, 3-0. Meggers this summer, just 3 walks, his 9th game overall, but a .355 hitter coming in. A hit in every game as well, but 0 for 2 tonight. 3-0, 2 away. Fastball in there as Meggers had the take sign the whole way.
And he's going to be patient here. 2 outs, 3-1 count. You already have a runner on base. And this Bourne team has really started to become more consistent with 2 outs.
Stieber sets, slide step, 3-1, broken back ground ball. It may trickle up the middle. It's snow cone from right at shortstop, and the throw to first is spiked. Infield single for Chase Meggers. The hit streak stays alive, now 9 games, and Bourne with first and second with 2 down.
Meggers continues to find ways to do it. It's been a lot of extra base hits for him so far. He has had 6 in the first 9 games he's played, but he'll take that infield single. Would have been a phenomenal effort by Mason White if he's able to get that throw on target. Meggers had that beat out regardless, and now Michelle a chance with 2 runners on base and 2 outs to add to this lead.
And the 2-out RBIs, it was a struggle for the Braves a lot of this summer, but this 4-game win streak coming in, it was 14 2-out RBIs, now 16 with the 2 that we've seen tonight. And a chance here for Garrett Michelle. 0 for 2, but a roping line out in the 3rd inning that was right at Carson Bowles in left field. He saw the ball very well. Has Holcomb off second, Meggers off first with 2 down. A 5-1 Braves lead here in top 5. Stieber's first pitch, Michelle just under it on another big hack. 5 hits for Bourne, 2 this inning. Michelle steps back in, bat in his shoulder. Stieber retired 8 straight, now 2 on via the single. A 1 to Michelle. Slow roller at second base. Acosta picks it up, throws to first, and ends the inning. The Braves with 2 hits here in the 5th, but their offense has been silenced since the 2nd inning. Bourne still a 5-1 lead over the Harbor Hawks. We head to the bottom half of the 5th here from McKeon Park.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
Last frame of this 5th inning here from McKeon Park. Bourne still in front over the top team in the West Division, Hyannis, 5-1. But the Braves have not scored since the 2nd inning, as Joe Stieber, the pitcher for the Harbor Hawks, has silenced this Bourne offense. Joe Arriola out there for his 5th inning of work. Top of the Harbor Hawks order. Here's the lefty Jackson West. He'll see a first pitch ball on a fastball at 92. Arriola went 5 innings the last time he faced off against the Harbor Hawks of just 1-hit baseball. 3 hits here tonight on 1 run. 1-0 to West. Dances out of the way. Won't matter. It's in there for a strike. 0 for 2 is the rising junior out of Florida State. 2 ground outs, 1 to Arriola to begin this game. The southpaw, middle of the rubber. Rocks and deals from the windup. And the 1-1 is fouled away, left side over the grandstands.
What a 4th inning that was for Arriola. Gets the 1-2-3. He's now retired 4 in a row, and he keeps that pitch count down to allow him to be able to throw this 5th inning.
3 strikeouts in that 3rd, 1-2-3 4th. Here's the 1-2 to West. Breaking ball that's chopped off the calf of West. He has such a wide stance with 2 strikes. His left foot, back of the box. His right foot, that front foot, at the very front of the chalk. And he just chokes up and doesn't even step, throws the hands. 13 strikeouts to 5 walks in his first 16 games. Arriola and West ready. 1-2 with nobody out. The pitch just clipped back. The long at-bats for Arriola. We saw Dalton Bargo all the way back in that 2nd inning work a 10-pitch at-bat. Arriola that inning threw close to 25 pitches. At the moment, he'll throw his 69th pitch here coming up. Here's the 1-2 pitch to the leadoff man. Breaking ball low and outside. West held up.
Now you're starting to see that cutter play a little bit more for Arriola. We haven't seen a whole lot of the splitter thus far for the southpaw. But he's had everything working since that 3rd inning.
2-2 pitch to West. Fastball drilled to center field, but shallow. As Stanfield comes in, he lost the hat finally. Stanfield lost his hat after so long, adding that band that stopped it from flying off. It's out number 1, and you get to see the Stanfield flow. We do. You guys can't, but good head of hair from Chris Stanfield.
We talked about that hats off 3 campaign that Stanfield had this spring with Auburn, and we haven't seen the hat fly off the last couple of weeks with that band, but right back to old traditions right there to start the 5th.
The righty Josh Tate. He'll line one foul down the left field line to begin. Stanfield's done a good job all summer in center field. Bat finally gets going here tonight. It's been a cold streak. Had the RBI triple in the 2nd inning. Ariola's 0-1 to Tate. Tate lines one, first base side, drifts into right field and fouls. Ethan Conrad was coming on. The rising junior out of Georgia Southern singled in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. That was one of the 3 strikeouts in that 3rd inning. Tate led off that battle, and Ariola has been in a groove since then. 1 out, 0-2 count here in bottom 5, a 5-1 Braves lead. Ariola to Tate. Ground ball left side through the hole and into left field. Past Holcomb and Houston. It's the 4th hit now for the Harbor Hawks, and Tate picks up his 2nd here tonight.
And for Tate, you're not going to see a whole lot of extra base hits, not a whole lot of power. Only 4 home runs this spring. Did have 14 doubles, but only 1 extra base hit so far, and this being his 19th game on the Cape. He's doing it with those hard-hit ground balls. He's now 2 for 3.
The lefty Kane Kepley. Going to be a Tar Heel this fall. Has Tate off first base. Ariola's first pitch. Fastball popped in the air, high in the infield. Holcomb comes in at 3rd base, calls it off, runs on top of the mound, and makes the catch. He'll flip it to Ariola as the lefty looks to finish off this 5th inning.
And a huge start to that at-bat. You go to the fastball, middle. Not that great of a spot by Ariola, but Kepley a little too anxious with that swing. Drops the hands, pops it straight up. And a big 2nd out against a guy that's been the anchor of this Hyannis order for most of the season.
Michael Detallo in his 4th spot has been the RBI anchor, 25 this summer. 1 for 2 tonight. 1 runner on, 2 away. Ariola from the stretch. First pitch breaking ball is dribbled foul down the left field line. Detallo singled in that 3rd inning. 3 for 5 last night with 3 singles, but 0 for 4 the last time he faced off against the Braves. Steps out, now steps back in the righty's batter's box. Infield straight away, outfield straight away here for the Braves. 2 looks at first from Ariola. Long stare down. Now the 0-1. Fastball past the glove of Meggers, tipped off of it. To second base is Tate on what likely will be the wild pitch. And Hyannis with a runner in scoring position for the first time since the 3rd inning.
They haven't had a whole lot of chances with runners in scoring position tonight. They had Tate back in the 1st after he advances on a ground ball, leaves him stranded. Then you have the chance in the 2nd where you drive Bargo home with a single. Then Detallo was in scoring position in the 3rd to no avail.
1-1, 2 away. Runner on 2nd for Detallo. The pitch lines it left field. Here comes Becerra down for a base hit. Rounding 3rd base is Tate. Here's the throw from Becerra, cut off from Holcomb. 26th RBI of the summer for Michael Detallo. He makes it a 5-2 game here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
And just a tough play there for Becerra because it's hit so hard, but it's that in-between hop. You could either lay out and maybe make the catch. Tate probably scores anyway, whether you let it fall or not. But if you dive, then you got to worry about if you don't get there, it goes behind you. Detallo could get all the way to 3rd, maybe even score. Probably the best thing that happened did for Bourne. They hold Hyannis to that 1 run.
Here's the righty Donovan Cash in the 5 spot of this order. First pitch, pops it up, shallow center field. Houston back at shortstop, Stanfield in, threw off the hat, and makes the catch, sprinting into the infield to end the inning. 2 hits for the Harbor Hawks. They get 1 on Michael Detallo's 26th RBI. It's an RBI single to make this a 5-2 game after 5 from McKeon Park. We head to the 6th inning. I'll hand play-by-play off to Nathan Schwartz. He'll take you the rest of the way. Here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com.
Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network alongside Cam Manna. I'm Nathan Schwartz. What a game we've had so far. The matchup that we could potentially see on Tuesday in the one-game playoff, Bourne and Hyannis here at McKeon Park. It's been Bourne all game so far. They lead 5-2 as we start the top half of the sixth. But in these last 3 innings, only 2 hits. Those both came in the fifth from Holcomb and Meggers. This offense has sputtered out since Joe Stieber came into the game, the rising senior out of UT Arlington. He stays in the game here in the sixth as Tristan Becerra leads things off for Bourne. First pitch Becerra sees, call it a strike at the bottom of the zone.
And really, since Bourne had that 5 spot early in the first 2 innings, it's been Hyannis. 1 run in that bottom half of the second inning and just getting 1 more in bottom 5 and trying to crawl back here down by 3.
Stieber out of the windup goes to the slider on the second pitch. Becerra a swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Becerra's 0 for 2 throughout the game with a couple of strikeouts. 1 to start the second, 1 to end the third. Now the next offering down and away as Becerra gets another pitch back. It's 1-2. Stieber retired 8 in a row to begin his outing before giving up the line drive single to Holcomb and the infield single to Meggers. Now his 1-2 just off the plate. There's that splitter again. It's been his best pitch throughout the game. He got Conrad to look silly on it to begin the 5th inning. That was his 3rd strikeout. He's up to 4 after getting Merrick Houston looking for out number 2 in that 5th. Here's the 2-2. Soft tapper to the first baseman in Donovan Cash. He makes a flip the dive, and somehow Stieber able to get that tiptoe on the bag for the first out. That could have been a disaster for Hyannis, but it's a first out regardless.
Stieber just sprinting over to first base, and the ball kind of led him perfectly to the bag. It was just high, and it was his foot at first, and then his whole shoulder kind of rolled onto the bag at the last second. What could have been a very ugly play, and Stieber just getting his body on the bag somehow on that high flip.
He took a tumble. The first base umpire in Jeffrey Merzel had to make sure that he still had the baseball. He knew he got the foot down. He was pointing at it the whole way. Now David Lewis, the 7-hitter for Bourne, taking ball 1. Lewis in his first start with the Bravos, his 3rd appearance. He's 0 for 2. He's put the ball in play both times. He flew out to Josh Tate in right and grounded out to Mason White at short. Stieber's 1-0. Spiked in front of Jackson West, the backstop. And the count works in favor of Lewis. 2 balls and no strikes. Lewis coming off an unbelievable year where he was a Division II first-team All-American, first-team All-Conference at the plate and on the All-Conference defensive team. 2-0 from Stieber. Up and in. Lewis works up 3-0. He broke North Greenfield's single-season home run record with 24 bombs. He also had 18 in his sophomore year in North Greenville after spending his freshman season at Clemson. 3-0. There's the splitter. It's down low. And David Lewis draws his first walk on the Cape with 4 pitches.
And a very interesting college career for David Lewis. You start at Clemson, he bats 183 in limited games, then you go on to Division II, you dominate, you find your confidence, you get those reps under your belt, and now he'll go back to the ACC level with Virginia Tech this coming fall as a mound visit here for the Hyannis side, and we'll see. This may do it for Joe Stieber, and it looks like it may right now as a righty getting ready to come out of the bullpen.
If this is it, what a performance it was. Just his 2nd on the Cape. He threw 1 inning and a save last Friday at Brewster. He's through 3 1/3 here tonight. Has only given up 2 hits, no runs. That was his first walk, and he struck out 4 batters. But he will stay in this baseball game. The Hyannis staff having confidence in Stieber to maybe induce a ground ball to get out of this inning. They're obviously letting him go without pitch count. That was his 50th pitch that he just threw against David Lewis on that 4th pitch of the 4-pitch walk. And now Cam Koziel to the plate with a runner on and 1 away. Koziel has also drawn a walk tonight. That was against Drake Meeks, the starter. Stieber back out of the stretch. His first pitch to Koziel, a changeup. Koziel way out in front, and it's strike 1.
And for Stieber, he never pitched more than 2 1/3 at school at Texas Arlington. A lot of 2-inning spots, but the most he pitched was 2 1/3, and right now trying to battle through his 3rd inning of work.
He comes set at the chest. Next pitch, there is that ground ball. He gets it himself, throws to second for the first out, and the relay is in time. He gets the chance to stay in the game and gets that inning-ending 1-6-3 double play. Hyannis was down 5-0. It's now 5-2, but they're gaining more and more momentum as we head to bottom 6 on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story. Marty Chevrolet is your dealer for the people and proudly supports Bourne Braves baseball. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves.
New inning, new pitcher for the Bravos. It'll be the rising sophomore southpaw out of Georgia, Bradley Stewart, making his second appearance for Bourne.
And that first one, just 2 innings of work, 1 hit, did a solid job overall for the Braves. We did see the control trouble. That's been a big factor for a lot of Braves pitchers that have come in for their first appearances. We've seen a lot of them bounce back their second time out, and we'll see if Stewart here in a position where, even though it's a 5-2 game, it's still kind of a high-leverage spot with the way this Hyannis group all summer has been able to pounce and score a lot in very small sample sizes, and with a lot of time left to go, will be a big spot here for the lefty.
Hyannis was down 5-0 going into the bottom half of the second. They get 1 in that inning with a J.P. Acosta single, and then they get 1 more in the 5th with a Michael DeTalo single to put this game at a 5-2 Bourne lead as we start the bottom half of the 6th. It'll be Dalton Bargo, Carson Bowles, Mason White due up for Hyannis as they try to chip away at this Bourne lead. Stewart, a long delivery to the plate from the third base side of the rubber, and the first pitch he throws just missing below the knees of Bargo, who comes into this at-bat 0 for 1. Struck out looking his last time up to end the 3rd. He's also hit by a pitch and scored in the 2nd. Stewart's 1-0. Similar spot this time. It's a called strike on the outer half with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball.
And Stewart's his pitch delivery. He kind of flutters and holds onto the air and comes very low. Starts completely stand tall, knees are not bent, and then comes low to throw the pitch.
His 1-1. Another fastball, once again low. It's 2-1. For Stewart, that lone appearance that he had was on the 23rd against Harwich. A game where Bourne scored double digits. They had a big 5th inning in that one. They scored 7 runs. 2-1. Big swing, and it's a foul tip into the mitt of Meggers for strike 2. Bargo coming in hitting .215, 6 extra base hits, 11 runs driven in. Was 0 for 3 with a walk in the first matchup he played against Bourne back on July 12th. Stewart out of the wind, his 2-2. He gets Bargo to chase. Meggers has got to complete the strikeout. His throw to first off the back of Bargo, and he's going to reach. That ball took a very interesting bounce off the dirt. Bargo chases what would have been ball 3. It goes off the chest protector of Meggers, bounces towards us along the first base side. Meggers, his angle has got to be to the outside part of the first base bag. His throw tails a little bit inside. Lewis had no chance to get it, and Hyannis gets the leadoff man on.
And it was tough there for Chase Meggers because he's diagonal here behind home plate to the right side. So the only place really to aim there was at the back of Bargo. There was no other place to really throw the baseball.
First pitch to Carson Bowles is found away. So that's going to go down as the first strikeout of the night for Bradley Stewart. He's going to reach on the wild pitch. And so a runner at first base for Hyannis with nobody out in bottom 6 as they trail by 3. Stewart now out of the stretch. His 0-1. Again, fly ball foul beyond the Bourne dugout.
And Bowles right now late on these fastballs that have worked towards that outer half at the moment and just fouling them off, working them away. We'll see what Stewart does here, but those first 2 pitches are low and outside in that bottom third of the zone.
Just the fastball and the slider for Stewart. Transferring to Georgia from Eastern Kentucky. His 0-2 pitch. There is that slider. Bowles lets it go. It's 1-2. Bowles coming off a historic year at Lincoln Memorial, a Division II school, where he was 3rd in the country in average and doubles. He hit .475 this spring. Now a 1-2. Did he go around? No, he did not. Jeffrey Merzell, our first base umpire here tonight, making that call. Joe Labella, our home plate umpire, and Craig Andreozzi down at third base. 2-2 count, nobody out in bottom 6. Carson Bowles at the plate. There goes Bargo, the runner at first. The ball in the dirt, and Bargo into second standing. It'll be a stolen base for Hyannis, Bargo's 3rd this summer.
And what Hyannis does so well is they just take advantage of these quick mistakes. Tough throw from Chase Meggers, a great jump there from Dalton Bargo on a pitch that was low where either way, Chase Meggers really had no chance. And now they can continue to connect here. They've been the hotter offense in these last 3 innings.
Hyannis came in 4th in the Cape in stolen bases with 62. That was their 63rd. Now they have a runner in scoring position. And the 3-2 payoff is off the front foot of Carson Bowles, giving Hyannis 2 base runners to begin this inning. And now Mason White coming to the plate in that 8th spot. He represents the game's tying run.
And you almost it's almost a sigh of relief there for Bradley Stewart that he hit Carson Bowles, because if that pitch was backed away from Bowles, Bargo's going to have third base. He's still going to be in the batter's box, but now it's first and second, so it almost helps you in a sense right now. And a lefty on lefty here with Mason White. That ground ball could induce a double play.
And you got to think Hyannis is thinking bunt here to get both Bargo and Bowles in a scoring position with potentially only 1 out. Left on left matchup. White does not square, and he's going to take strike 1 on the outer half. White coming in hitting just .159 in 26 games. He's 0 for 2 tonight with a strikeout. 0 for 12 coming in against Bourne in 3 games. He's got a runner on second and first with nobody out. Stewart's 0-1. Fastball again. A called strike on the outside corner. And it's been the fastball to start the at-bats for Stewart. Back-to-back fastballs to begin against Bowles, who was hit by a pitch, and now against Mason White. In an 0-2 count, Stewart looks back at Bargo. The pitch, up and in, nearly clips the hand of White. That would have put the bases loaded for Hyannis. But now it's a 1-2 count. Double play or a strikeout be huge for Stewart right here. Bourne up by 3 in bottom 6. Here's Stewart with the 1-2. Again up and in. Mason White staying patient. He's worked this count back even.
And White's been very predictable right now, and even he did the same thing to Bowles. It's been 2 fastballs low and away to the hitter, and then 2 sliders that have missed. And we'll see here, if you're White, you're kind of thinking fastball now on a 2-2.
Stewart takes a breath. He's set at the belt. The high leg kick and the pitch. It's the slider. It's a swing and a miss, and it's out number 1. His second strikeout of the inning, but it keeps the runners in place as White goes down.
And a great job there from Bradley Stewart to just go back to that slider and have the confidence in it, because he's continued to miss this inning on that pitch. And that's why you think there that White's going to look fastball, and he kind of did. He was almost second-guessing himself on that swing. Big first down here for the lefty.
And now J.P. Acosta, 1 for 2 with an RBI here tonight. First pitch he sees from Stewart. Elevated fastball. He chases for strike 1. Acosta in just his second game with the Harbor Hawks. The rising sophomore at Fresno City College was 1 for 3 with an RBI on Wednesday against Chatham. Drove in the first run for Hyannis here tonight in that second inning off Areola. Stewart sets. The 0-1 spiked, but Meggers able to keep it in front. Keeping Bargo at second and Bowles at first, the base runners for the Harbor Hawks.
And that's the one thing you don't want here right now is a wild pitch pass ball to set up Hyannis with a chance to have second and third, and one swing can score both runs. That's the one thing that Stewart and Meggers want to limit here right now.
Acosta at the plate represents the tying run in a 5-2 game where Bourne leads. Stewart out of the stretch, his 1-1. Another fastball blown past Acosta. It's 1-2. Once again, Bourne comes in at 4th place in the West at 18-16-2. Hyannis, the first place team, at 22-14-1. Both teams have clinched playoff berths. Now it's all about where they will be seeding-wise. The 1-2 from Stewart. Slider, swing and a miss. The third strikeout of the inning for Stewart, and it's out number 2.
And the second that's resulted in that out, and you could be out of the inning right now, but just a tough few inches on the movement of a fastball back to Bargo as the first hitter. Puts Bargo on second base, but back to that slider. Now Stewart finding the confidence, and that AB, he goes to the fastball twice once again early and works back to that slider.
And right back to the top of this Hyannis order in Jackson West, the backstop out of Florida State, who's hitless tonight, 0 for 3 with a couple of ground outs. Left-on-left matchup. First pitch from Stewart. Fastball just missing on the outside corner at 95. Stewart was actually a 2023 17th round draft pick by the Tigers. Goes to Eastern Kentucky and now going to Georgia. His 1-0. West takes, again, fastball down and out. It's ball 2. West coming in, 281 average in 16 games. Has driven in 11 runs. He has Dalton Bargo at second base, Carson Bowles at first, and he represents the tying run in a 5-2 Bravo lead. Stewart sets at the belt, his 2-0 offering. Slider outside, and now Jackson West has worked this count full. If he's able to get on base, the bases would be loaded for Hyannis. West, the tying run would be at first, and Josh Tate in the on-deck circle representing the go-ahead run would come to the plate.
And Tate also has 2 hits here tonight.
Both against Areola, who exits after 5 innings of 2-run baseball. Stewart deals the 3-0 slider right in the middle of the zone, but Meggers drops the baseball. That's going to mean it's ball 4. It's always tough when the catcher drops the ball because it doesn't give the home plate umpire a great read on where the baseball actually was. So it could have been strike 1, results in ball 4, and now the Harbor Hawks have the bases juiced.
A 50-50 ball in the low and outside corner, but that definitely is going to play a factor, and a pitch that Chase Meggers is going to want back.
Now Josh Tate, the Georgia Southern Eagle, with the bases loaded and 2 away. First pitch from Stewart, up and in. That was 93 from Stewart. Now Chase Meggers and Scott Landers will go have a chat with the rising sophomore going to Athens this fall. Back and forth game we've had here. Braden Holcomb, a 2-run homer to get us started in top one. Then Bourne adds 3 more runs with a 2-out rally in the second. It was a Chris Stanfield RBI triple, and Ethan Conrad RBI single, and then Conrad scores on a wild pitch by Drake Meeks, the Hyannis starter. Since then, it's been all Hyannis. They score a run in the second with J.P. Acosta's RBI single, a run in the fifth on Michael DeTalo's RBI single, and now have the bases loaded and the tying run at first base.
And the Hyannis offense right now, it was very slow early. Arriola started off well, and he pitched well, but it's been those 2-1 spots that Hyannis had to kind of crawl this lead back very quietly as the Bourne offense has been silenced. And a spot right here where Hyannis, it's their best chance of the game. It's a position where they've been very good at this summer, especially at home, is converting in these spots.
And they have Josh Tate at the plate, who has 2 of the Harbor Hawks' 5 hits here tonight. Stewart after the mound visit. His 1-0. It's a fastball. It's a called strike on the outside corner. Tate hit .369 with the Eagles this spring. Drove in 30 runs with 19 extra base hits. Was on the All-Sun Belt second team. Now batting at the top of the order for the Harbor Hawks. 1-1 fastball misses inside, and Tate works up 2-1. Keep in mind, if he's able to reach base with a walk or a hit by pitch, that brings home another run for Hyannis. The Harbor Hawks trying to solidify their spot at first place in the West and try and clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs. 2-1 slider. That's going to catch the outside corner. And Bradley Stewart 1 strike away from a 4-strikeout 6th inning. Dalton Bargo struck out to begin the inning, but reached on a Stewart wild pitch. He leads at third with the bases loaded for Hyannis. Stewart comes set. The 2-2 in the dirt, but blocked by Meggers. Now a full count between Bradley Stewart and Josh Tate. The runners will be off on the pitch. Ball 4 means a run for the Harbor Hawks, and that would put the tying run at second base. The go-ahead run would go to first. It's the biggest pitch of the game right here. Full count, 2 away, bottom of the 6th. Tying run on base for Hyannis. Stewart, here it is. It's up and out for ball 4. The crowd comes to life here at McKeon Park as Hyannis scores its 3rd run to make it 5-3.
And the slider started off slow, became the pitch that was putting out hitters back-to-back times in those strikeouts. And Stewart there just not on top of it, hangs it way upstairs. Now a 2-run game, and a base hit right now from Kane Kepley can tie this thing up.
Now the tying run for Hyannis leads at second base in Jackson West. The go-ahead run at first in Josh Tate, with Kepley, the Tar Heel, coming to bat. First pitch from Stewart. Fastball at cleat level, 1-0. Kepley with 19 RBIs coming in. That's second on this Hyannis team. He's been here since the beginning. This is the 36th game he's appeared in. He started this summer as a Liberty Flame, going to end it as a Tar Heel, headed to Chapel Hill. Stewart's 1-0 to the backstop. Meggers, a great ricochet. The tag at the plate is there. A huge bounce for Bourne. That had another run for Hyannis written all over it. What a bounce it took off of the padding behind home plate. Meggers comes immediately back to the plate, tags out Carson Bowles to keep this game where it is. It's a 5-3 Bourne lead as we head to the top of the 7th from McKeon Park.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay is Bourne's premier senior living community, conveniently located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us today at KeystonePlace at buzzardsbay.com. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an events technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of Cape Cod baseball. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Chris Stanfield, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
It's a brand new ball game here from McKeon Park. At one point, Bourne had a 5-0 lead. It's now 5-3, and they get a very lucky bounce off the backstop to keep the game at a 2-run lead.
It was a pass ball or a wild pitch from Bradley Stewart, and it was right by us here. That pitch comes to the left side if you're Bradley Stewart of home plate, bounces off this brick backstop with the blue padding, and it's almost a ground ball to Meggers, and he met the runner at the plate to tag him out on such a crucial bounce. And it's important because a bounce hurt the Braves early on the drop third strike, and then a bounce helps them to end that inning.
And now a new pitcher for the Harbor Hawks. It's Jackson Emis, the rising graduate student who spent this last year at Duke. He's in the transfer portal right now. Spent his first 2 years at Princeton. He's very familiar with the Cape League, this being his third year in the Cape. And he'll come on in the top half of the seventh inning. He'll face 9-1-2 in the Bourne order. It starts with Chris Stanfield. The first pitch of the outing for Emis, a called strike. Emis, this is his first appearance with Hyannis in 2024. He made 13 with the Harbor Hawks back in 2022. An 0.53 ERA for Emis in 17 innings. His 0-1. Stanfield lets it go, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. For Emis in that 1 year with the Blue Devils, 15 appearances and a start, an 8.66 ERA in 17 2/3 innings. He comes set out of the stretch. His 1-1 to Stanfield. Clubbed to left. It's over the head of Bowles, and it's a one-hop off the wall. Stanfield had a triple earlier. He's jogging into second with his second extra base hit here tonight.
And Chris Stanfield back to the ways of what we saw him 2 weeks ago. 0 for 4 2 nights back, a 1 for 5 against Chatham back on the 25th. But now getting back into this groove. And a big thing that could have been the difference for Stanfield, only 2 starts in his last 4 games. So Scott Landers has given him some time off. You reset, and now 2 big extra base hits here tonight.
It's his 8th multi-hit game of the summer. As I said a moment ago, 2 extra base hits tonight for Stanfield. And now back to the top of the order for Bourne and Ethan Conrad. Conrad 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI single in the second. First pitch he sees from Emis. A big cut. It's 0-1. Joe Stieber out of this game for Hyannis. He goes 4 innings of 2-hit baseball. Bourne had not been able to do anything since Drake Meeks, the starter, exited. And now with Emis entering, they get a double right off the bat. 0-1, Conrad takes, it's off the plate, and the count evens. For Conrad, he keeps that hitting streak alive. It's now at 11 games. He's 15 for his last 42. Emis coming set, a couple of leg kicks with Stanfield dancing off a second. Emis goes to the plate, and the 1-1 is fouled just to the right of the light post by the grandstand here along the third base side of McKeon Park. Count 1-2 to Conrad, Bourne's leadoff hitter.
And important, too, last night we saw the Braves lead off base runners time and time again. Back-to-back nights we've seen that. But just the first time here tonight where Bourne has had their leadoff runner on. That's been a big reason why Bourne has had this hot streak, and the runs have been piling in.
Stanfield, the leadoff hitter in the 7th inning. A double to straightaway left. He leads at second, and now a 1-2 count to Conrad. Here is that pitch. It's a soft tapper to the first base side. Hyannis flips to first just in time to get Conrad as Stanfield moves to third.
Really impressive play there from Jackson Hyannis to come off the mound because Conrad has the blazing speed. Hyannis just picks it up, and the second it's in his glove, you have to have that quick transfer, no time for mistake, and that flip right on target to get Conrad by a step. But he does his job, moves Stanfield 90 feet away.
And that'll bring this Hyannis infield in with one away and the 6th run for Bourne at third base. It's Merrick Houston at the plate for the Bravos with one out. The first pitch he sees in his 4th plate appearance is off the plate for ball 1. Couple of walks for Houston here tonight. He's up to 25 on the season total. He went down looking in his last plate appearance. That was the 2nd out of the 5th. Hyannis comes set. Glove at the chest. It's a line drive to right field. Tate on the move. It's off the glove and to the fence. Stanfield will score easily. Houston into second base. The throw goes all the way to third. Merrick Houston putting the ball in play. A good thing happens. Bourne able to respond to that run Hyannis got in the bottom half of the 6th as the Bravos take a 6-3 lead.
And just a hard hit ball there for Houston. Tough play for Tate to make as that ball was just dipping and diving very low towards the line, but it did tip off the glove of Tate in right field. Houston goes the opposite way. Either way, a run's likely going to score if that's either going to be a sac fly or on the E9. And it will be scored in E9 on just a line drive from Houston that does a job.
Hard hit ball by Merrick Houston. 89 off the bat, straightaway right field. Gets Bourne that 3-run lead back. And now Holcomb to the plate. Pops up the first pitch he sees in his 4th plate appearance. It's to left center. On the move to make the catch is Carson Bowles. And that's the inning's 2nd out. Could have been out number 3. Bourne likely gets that run anyway, with Stanfield likely scoring on what could have been a sac fly for Merrick Houston. Instead, it's a fielding error by Josh Tate, allowing Stanfield to get that 6th run.
But you talk about missing a pitch by a few inches. Man, Braden Holcomb, that's an off-speed hanging middle. Just is under it. If not, if Holcomb squares that, that's way gone in the middle of the trees.
He had that home run earlier, his 3rd of the summer. Now Chase Meggers, the reigning Cape League Player of the Week, with a runner on second and 2 away. First pitch he sees is up and out for ball 1. Meggers had an infield single his last time up. He keeps the hitting streak going. Now all 9 games he's played on the Cape, he's gotten a base knock. He also has 6 extra base hits this summer, 5 of them being doubles. Hyannis checking back at Houston, the runner at second. 1-0, Meggers leaves. It's above the zone once again. Meggers has become an everyday player for this Bourne team, and he's found a home in that cleanup spot in this order, whether he's been a catcher or the DH. Him and John Schroeder have been alternating the catching duties day in and day out for the last week or so. He's up 2-0 against Hyannis. Time is called by our home plate umpire. Meggers takes a big swing anyway. The pitch will not count. And it's going to be a pitch clock violation on Hyannis, the pitcher. So that count going to go in favor of Meggers, 3-0, despite him taking a swing.
And Meggers knew it was time. He was like, why not? I'm just going to take a hack right here, see what happens. Fastball that was out of the zone, and 3-0 count. Tough here now for Hyannis with that runner on second. And as we mentioned, this inning could be over.
And will Meggers have the green light, up 3-0 with 2 away in top 7. We'll see right here. The pitch, he did have that green light. He fouls it straight back.
A green light on a pitch right there that's up and outside of the zone, not the 3-0 position that you want to be in to take that hack. And now he's in that 3-1 count. You think that's a 50-50 pitch if he takes.
Eric Houston reaching on that error by Josh Tate in right. He leads at second with 2 away. The 3-1 pitch to Meggers. Middle of the zone. Meggers swinging out of his shoes. He gets past him, and it's a 3-2 count.
Took such a big hack right there. And both Meggers and Holcomb this inning on pitches where if they connect with them in middle barrel, it's going to be way gone.
Love to see the bat speed on that one. But we'll settle for the full count. The payoff to Meggers. Another one found straight back to the netting. If Meggers can keep this inning alive, it's Garrett Michelle, the Virginia Tech first baseman, in the on-deck circle. Still in search of his first trip on base tonight. Once again, Merrick Houston leads at second base. It's a 6-3 Bourne lead as the Bravos look to move within a game and a half of first place in the West. The payoff to Meggers. It's strike 3. He goes around as Hyannis picks up his first strikeout. We head to the 7th inning stretch. Bourne gets one back on the error by Josh Tate and right. It's 6-3 Bravos over the Harbor Hawks.
Hello, I'm Cam Kozel, and you're listening to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
It's back to a 3-run lead for Bourne as we start the bottom half of the 7th inning on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Alongside Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz. A 6-3 Bourne lead. They get one back in the 7th on an error by Josh Tate and right. And now Bradley Stewart back out for a second inning of relief. He'll face 3, 4, 5 in this Hyannis order. Kane Kepley, Michael Detallo, and Donovan Cash. First pitch of the 7th. Just above the lettering on those Red Shirt Friday jerseys that read Cape Cod Baseball League on the front. So a 1-0 count to begin against Kepley, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Stewart out of the wind. His 1-0 fastball finds the bottom of the zone. But a bailout for Bourne in that bottom half of the 6th on that bounce off the ball on the wild pitch by Stewart to get him out of the inning, only allowing 1 run. 1-1. That's going to get the jersey of Kepley. He's going to jog down to first base as Hyannis, for a second consecutive inning, gets the leadoff man on.
A loud sound, too. It also could have maybe tipped off of nearing like the helmet area of Kane Kepley there, just ducking and spinning out of the way. And another leadoff base runner on. That's the reason why Hyannis scored back in that 6th inning.
Now Detallo. 2 hits tonight. First pitch he sees from Stewart, down and in for ball 1. Detallo, a ground out to Houston in the 1st, a single with 2 outs in the 3rd, then an RBI single in the 5th, which at the time made it 5-2, now 6-3 in favor of Bourne. The 1-0, fastball, this time up and out to make it 2-0.
And you need Bradley Stewart here to start to bear down. You wonder what the leash is right now for the Braves to go to their pen. 3-run game, and Hyannis was nearing taking the lead last inning if it wasn't for a Bourne Braves bounce in their favor.
Speaking of the bullpen, John Abraham warming for Bourne here in bottom 7. 2-0 pitch, it's the fastball, tailing inside, and just like that, Hyannis a ball away from getting the tying run to the plate once again.
and it just takes base runners. A team that's third on the Cape on base percentage, they find a way to just keep innings rolling via these walks.
There goes Kepley on the 3-0. It doesn't matter as Stewart walks Ditalo on 4 pitches. So just 7 pitches into this 7th inning. Hyannis has 2 runners on base. The tying run comes to the plate. And for the moment, Scott Landers going to come out to the mound. He makes that point down to the bullpen to John Abraham, who's going to come into this game in a huge spot. A 3-run lead, but the tying run coming to the plate in Donovan Cash when we come back on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Marty Chevrolet, your dealer for the people, proudly supports the Bourne Braves baseball team. See all our cars and trucks at martychevrolet.com and go Braves. Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer, handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at Portside Liquors, 590A, MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
John Abraham, the new pitcher on the mound for Bourne, in a massive spot in this game. For Bourne, it's game 37 of their summer. For Hyannis, it's game 38. It's pretty simple, folks. Bourne, right now, 4th place in the West. If they win and the Gatemen lose tonight at home against Katuitt, then Bourne will be a half a game within 3rd place. They'd be a game and a half from 1st place in the West Division. And Abraham is going to face 5, 6, 7 in this Hyannis order, trying to keep the tying run from coming home to score.
It's such a big spot, but John Abraham is made for this spot. If there's a guy you want out of the bullpen right now, the way that he's pitching, it is Abraham. 6th appearance here, a 1.13 ERA, 13 strikeouts, and folks, he has not walked anybody this summer, so the right guy you want in right now. And Bradley Stewart coming off the mound wasn't his outing. Was also a little bit annoyed with some of the fans as well. There's that hostility ability here from McKeon Park in the game that's becoming more and more chippy. This time of year, you kind of get that playoff feeling, and both teams know what this game means for the playoff picture.
Abraham coming in that 1.13 ERA, the 8 innings, as Cam mentioned. It'll be the 2nd time that Abraham faces Hyannis here this summer. Back on the 21st of July, 1 inning, 1 strikeout, a clean inning for Abraham. And he'll face a pinch hitter to begin his outing. It'll be Blake Cavill, the rising senior, formerly of Western Kentucky, still in the transfer portal, to pinch hit for Donovan Cash with nobody out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Cavill coming to the plate, representing the tying run once again for Hyannis.
And Cavill got the start last night, but struck out 3 times in 4 ABs to Katuitt, a guy that's struggling this summer and looking to really change that right here in such a big spot for the Harbor Hawks.
Kane Kepley led off this inning. He was hit by a pitch on the 3rd pitch of his at-bat. Michael Ditalo draws a 4-pitch walk, chasing Bradley Stewart out of the game. Now Cavill, pinch hitting for Cash, who exits after being 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Cavill represents the 6th run of the game for Hyannis and a 6-3 Bourne lead. First pitch to Cavill, fastball above the zone, it's 1-0. And just a slight amount of fog now starting to settle in the outfield here at McKeon Park, something we'll keep an eye on. Abraham takes a deep breath, comes set at the belt. His 1-0 pitch to Cavill, misses down and in. For Abraham, you'll see a 4-pitch mix of a fastball, a curveball, a changeup, and a slider. Tends to favor those off-speed pitches from time to time, but not afraid to challenge hitters with that 4-seam fastball. Another deep breath for Abraham, down to 4 in the pitch clock. He goes to the plate, fires in that changeup, and it's a called strike.
In Abraham's last appearance against Katuitt, he was down in a bunch of 3-1 counts, 3 of them in those 2 innings, and he worked back to not walk anybody with those 5 strikeouts. Down right now, 2-1.
Abraham, the rising sophomore out of Florida State. There goes the runners. The throw down to third by Meggers, not in time to get Kepley. Hyannis pulls off the double steal. Now the 4th and 5th runs for the Harbor Hawks, both in scoring position.
A double steal where you need that right there. A team that's been top 4 in that category this summer in stolen bases. They do love to steal, and it matters right there. Now in this 3-run game, and that tying run at the plate, but what a single could just do right now.
Could make this a 1-run ball game. Now a 3-1 count from Abraham. It's ball 4, and the Harbor Hawks, for the 2nd straight inning, have the bases loaded with the tying run at first base and the go-ahead run coming to the plate in Dalton Bargo.
And this can all change right here with one swing as that fog really comes in a lot more. And just to note, not to speak it into existence, but Bourne last summer in July played here at Hyannis, and a game ended in 7 innings due to fog. So right now, if you're John Abraham, you want to bear down, obviously not worry about the fog, and also not let the fans here get to you. That's been a difference right now for Stewart, now to Abraham.
Bases loaded, nobody out in bottom 7 for Hyannis, down by 3. Abraham, his first pitch to Bargo. Curveball, Bargo was going to swing at that pitch no matter what it was. The count goes to 0-1. It was the curveball there from Abraham. Once again, he loves that curveball, loves the changeup. And for Bargo, he's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts tonight, but he did score in that 6th inning after reaching on the wild pitch. Abraham's 0-1. Curveball pops straight up in the infield. It's Holcomb and Houston both over there. Calling everybody off is Holcomb, and somehow able to hold on for the inning's first out.
Well, Holcomb right there. Balls in the air. We're both looking at it. I couldn't exactly see where the baseball was. Houston didn't really see it either. But Holcomb called ball the whole entire way and then kind of started to drift and lose it. You call a ball, you have to see ball, get ball, and Holcomb does, just bringing it in at the last second, drifting to his left side and catching it right by his hip area.
And that fog now really starting to come in. Maybe that played a little bit of a factor in Holcomb having to go down to his shoelaces to grab that baseball. But now Carson Bowles, same situation, bases loaded with now 1 away. The first pitch from Abraham. It's the changeup above the zone. Kane Capley leads at third, Michael Detallo at second, Blake Cavill, the pinch hitter for Donovan Cash at first base. Carson Bowles, 0 for 1 with the walk and a hit by pitch tonight. Represents the go-ahead run for Hyannis in the bottom of the 7th. Abraham's 1-0. Changeup between the legs of Meggers all the way to the backstop, and here comes the 4th run for Hyannis. The defensive struggles for Meggers continue. It gives the Harbor Hawks a run to make this a 6-4 baseball game.
And that's been the only knock on Meggers, a hit in every game through his first 9. Player of the week with the 7 hits last week. But right now, just having a lot of mistakes behind the plate that have hurt Bourne, have plagued them. And now you have that tying run at second base as all the runners advance.
A base hit for Carson Bowles or Mason White in the on-deck circle could tie this game up for the Harbor Hawks. Here's Abraham's 2-0 fastball, up and in. And now a walk could bring another bases-loaded chance to the Harbor Hawks. First base is open with Detallo now at third, Cavill at second, following the pass ball. Abraham, 3 leg rocks to a set. Glove at the belt. His 3-0 pitch. It's the fastball at 90 on the outside corner for a called strike. Abraham coming in, had not walked anybody. Starts his appearance with a walk to Blake Cavill on 5 pitches. Gets that huge pop out against Bargo. The pass ball brings home the 4th run for the Harbor Hawks. Now a 3-1 pitch with 1 away. Curveball drops into the zone for strike 2. And Cam, you just mentioned it a moment ago. Abraham down in so many counts against Katuitt last Friday. He was able to work back, get 5 strikeouts in 2 innings there. He's looking for his first strikeout here, what could be out number 2 of the 7th. Abraham, a deep breath. And the payoff. Curveball, fouled straight back. Bowles just missed it.
And a 3-2 pitch that was kind of 50-50. even if Bulls were even to take that pitch right there, as the Bourne bat boy makes a play, sliding to take it away from the Hyannis side. And now we get back to action right here, but a 3-2 pitch that Bulls just tipped.
Tying run at second base for the Harbor Hawks. One away in bottom 7. A 6-4 Bourne lead. Abraham on the mound. The 3-2. Curveball, fly ball into center. It's foggy, remember that. Stanfield has no idea where the baseball is. Now he does. The throw all the way into the cutoff man in Lewis. It's going to be a sacrifice fly for Carson Bowles. DeTalo scores to make it 6-5 as Stanfield tries to deke out everybody.
And you think here, was it Stanfield deking everybody out to see if a runner would leave early knowing that he had the baseball, or did Stanfield actually lose it for a second? And the way the fog is flying in, it's getting very bad in the outfield. Hyannis known for more fog than Bourne and Dorn Park, where they've had the 2 fog outs this summer, but that one could have been very bad. It makes it this 1-run game, and thankfully it didn't drop due to the fog.
Things have really changed now. It's a 1-run game between Bourne and Hyannis here in game 37. Mason White to the plate with a runner on second and 2 away. First pitch curveball just missing up for John Abraham. He's had the walk, the pop out, and the sac fly since entering the game. That run that scores, both runs that scored, are charged to Bradley Stewart. Blake Cavill remains the runner at second. The 1-0 from Abraham. Ground ball just foul past the Hyannis first base coach. Abraham coming in, only allowed 1 earned run in 8 innings. No walks to 13 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just .226 against him in his first 5 appearances, coming off that stellar freshman year with Florida State, a team that made it to the Final 4 of the College World Series. Count even 1 ball and 1 strike against Mason White out of Arizona. Here is that 1-1 pitch. It's a curveball, and White looks silly to make it 1-2.
Now Abraham a pitch away from getting out of such a big inning here. Hyannis crawling back with a 2 spot. That intensity on an all-time high right here.
Both sides getting into it. The Bourne fans that made the drive. The Hyannis fans in attendance here tonight. 1-2 count, 2 away, bottom half of the 7th. A 1-run game between Bourne and Hyannis. Both teams have clinched playoff berths, but both trying to improve their seeding ahead of the West Division playoffs. Abraham had stepped off. He comes back set at the belt. Deep breath and the pitch. Line drive past Lewis into right field. Getting the wave around third is Cavill. Here comes the throw. It's all the way to the backstop, and we are tied. A back pick to first, and White is safe. It's a 3 spot for the Harbor Hawks here in bottom 7. Mason White with an RBI single to right field ties things up at 6.
A pitch there from John Abraham on a slider that just hangs up in the zone, and a really good swing from White to go the other way. It's a 1-2 count. You get that breaking ball. It's a cold-blooded swing from Hyannis to bring back in this game. Bourne started so early. Hyannis now a 3 spot, a 6-6 ball game. What a job from the Harbor Hawks getting to the Braves' best reliever here in John Abraham.
And the inning's still not over yet for Bourne or Hyannis, with J.P. Acosta coming to the plate. First pitch, wave and a miss on the fastball. So now the go-ahead run for the Harbor Hawks at first base in Mason White. Kepley, DeTalo, and Cavill, all 3 reached on free passes by the Bourne staff, have scored in this inning. Abraham's 0-1. Off the glove of Meggers into the backstop. Another pass ball for the Oregon product.
The bottom line is if the ball hits your glove, you have to make the catch when you're behind the plate. And, right now it's really hurting Bourne this inning. That cannot be happening right now. It's been the hits for Hyannis. They're finding a way, but Bourne also helping the Harbor Hawks here with these extra bases, these free passes.
Now the winning run potentially with this fog coming in at second base for Hyannis. And 2 away. 1-1. Curveball never drops. It's now a 2-1 count in favor of J.P. Acosta, the 9-hitter for the Harbor Hawks, who's 1 for 3 tonight with an RBI single back in the 2nd inning. When Acosta had that hit, it was 5-0 Bourne. Now the game tied at 6. Abraham once again comes set at the belt. His 2-1 pitch. Acosta does go around on that wicked curveball. The count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The fog got better, but now it got even worse flying in, and you can, really right now you're losing sight of what's happening in center field.
Who knows what could happen here in the coming moments. But right now, Abraham needs a strike. His 2-2 pitch to Acosta. Wave and a miss. A crucial strikeout for John Abraham. It's his first strikeout of the night. But Hyannis, with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 7th, ties things up. And we'll get a umpire meeting here between Joe Labella, Jeffrey Merzel, and Craig Andreozzi to see if the fog is going to be too much to play an 8th inning. We'll stay with you here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
And the fog right now is once again getting better, but it gets worse every few minutes. It starts to fly in from the third base side in left field, and it moves slowly away. Look, Bourne right now on the better end of fog for the first time, because if this was Dorn Park, they would play this inning, and they would keep it going until there's something that happens that stops this game, like a pop fly that a player can't see. So I think Bourne here is likely to get their chance to hit in this top half of the 8th inning. And what the umpire crew has done this summer is waiting for a play that kind of makes sure this fog is getting too bad. They're still talking right now, but it looks like they are going to play this half inning and do just that. Wait for something to happen that makes it clear they have to pause.
One of the longer discussions between an umpiring crew this summer. And now both the base umpires are going to have a talk with the respective head coaches. And I believe the understanding that they've come to is that, like you said, Cam, they're just going to wait and see. If something happens that causes a safety concern, the game will end. In a game that Bourne was up 5-0 in, Hyannis has come all the way back and made it a 6-6 game. You still wouldn't exit with a loss here, but being up 5-0 and getting into a tie, that's definitely a result that Bourne doesn't want to see.
Well, first they would also delay this baseball game and see what would happen with this fog right now. We mentioned last year there was that fog out after 7 innings, but we will play the top half of the 8th here. And Bourne, you got to play this thing like it's the 9th. You desperately need a run right now with everything that's happened with this weather at the moment.
They were able to respond in the top half of the 7th with a run. Now it's Michelle Becerra and Lewis. First pitch of the inning by Hyannis, a called strike on the inner half against Garrett Michelle, who's 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out back in the first. A hard line out in the third and a ground out to the second baseman in Acosta to end the 5th. Hyannis on the mound for the Harbor Hawks. Next pitch is a changeup. It tails off the plate. The count evens at a ball and a strike. Once again, Hyannis in his first appearance with Hyannis this summer. The grad transfer who spent his last year at Duke. 1-1. Michelle goes around on that fastball. And the count now in favor of Hyannis, who made 15 appearances with Duke this spring. Nearly 18 innings. A great 2 years with Princeton. Over 125 innings and a sub-6 ERA. 1-2 pitch to Michelle. Fouled straight back.
And an at-bat here that means a lot for the Braves. Leadoff base runners. That's what Hyannis has done these last 2 half innings to score these runs. Bourne scored last inning because of the leadoff base runner. Stanfield the double, brought in on the Houston E9.
Michelle 6 for his last 32, dating back to that 4-hit game he had against Brewster on July 10th. The 1-2 from Hyannis, down and away. But Michelle coming off that game yesterday. RBI double in the bottom half of the 7th inning. We thought for a moment that would have been a 2-run double to get Bourne a mercy rule victory, but there was a great relay by Falmouth, which held Michelle to just 1 RBI. Now a 2-2 pitch, a line drive, the leap, and it's off the glove of Mason White. All the way into left center, and there's a leadoff base hit for Garrett Michelle.
Smoking line drive from Michelle. Another hard hit ball to the left side. That has nothing to do with the fog right there, and that one was 105, middle, 89 the other way from Michelle. What a hard hit ball from Garrett to go the other way once again, and one of the hardest hit balls we've seen this summer.
There's no way you could give Mason White an error on that. 105 off the bat of Garrett Michelle on a pitch middle, he smoked it. And now Tristan Becerra, the power threat. 0 for 3 tonight. Well, we've seen it. It only takes one swing for the Clemson Tiger. First pitch changeup that's going to drop into the zone. Couple of strikeouts tonight for Becerra. Rolled over to Donovan Cash at first base his last time up. Now Blake Cavell over there at first base for Hyannis. 0-1 from Hyannis. It's up and out. Becerra holds off, and the count evens at 1-1.
We've seen big swings tonight for Becerra, the 2 strikeouts and the rollover ground out. You want to see him here adjust, shorten up. We've seen the long ball of late right now, but Bourne needs to extend this inning with the base runners, and Michelle off first base, a good start.
The 1-1 to Becerra. Another changeup, another pitch just off the outside corner. It'll be ball 2. Once again, the fog really starting to settle in here at McKeon Park. Bourne's been fogged out twice this year, both at home, both against YD, and both games resulted in a Red Sox win. Tied game here at McKeon Park, 6-6. Next pitch to Becerra, down and in. So a 3-1 count in favor of the Clemson Tiger. If he's able to reach base, there would be runners on second and first with nobody out for David Lewis, one of the new guys on this Bourne team, who awaits on deck. He missed the grad transfer in the portal. Couple of leg kicks to a set. 3-1. Becerra goes after that high fastball. Got under it. No contact made. And now the count is full.
Just a massive hack there from Becerra. Now have to shorten up here with 2 strikes.
Becerra's gotten on base in all but 2 games he's played with Bourne this summer. He's played in 12, gotten on base in 10. Before the 3-2 payoff, we get a pickoff move over to first base. We haven't seen a whole lot of those here tonight. Garrett Michelle slides back head first safely. Michelle has stolen 3 bases this summer. A couple of them came on double steals. Hyannis checks the runner, comes set. Here's the payoff. Becerra pops it up, drifting towards the Hyannis dugout, and it's going to get out of play. Becerra just doing whatever he can to keep this at-bat alive. The fog moving from left to right here at McKeon Park. Settling in the outfield. There's a little bit in the infield as well. In both fog outs that Bourne has played in, it was the fly ball to the outfield where the outfielder couldn't see it that caused the game to end. Before the second payoff, another pickoff move over to first base.
Right now, left field is the best spot when it comes to being able to see the baseball, and then it kind of gets worse into the left and right center field gap. Right now, you think center field is the worst if you're going to see a fly ball.
Michelle at first, 3-2 count with nobody out against Becerra. The pitch, another foul ball. Becerra fighting and fighting here in his 4th trip to the plate tonight. He'll see an 8th pitch in this at-bat coming up. For Hyannis in this at-bat, he's sprayed the ball all over the strike zone. 3 pitches elevated, 4 pitches down. 3 pitches on the outside, 4 pitches in the middle of the zone. He's yet to go up and in. Once again, a 3-2 count against Becerra. There goes Michelle. It's inside for ball 4. What an at-bat worked by Tristan Becerra. He reaches base for the first time tonight, and Bourne now has runners on second and first with nobody out in a tied game.
Wins the 8-pitch battle, and now a mound visit here what it looks like on the Hyannis side. Righty warming up in their bullpen. That might be ready to go. They make the point, and that's where they're going to go here with first and second.
Patrick Hyannis, the grad transfer, throws a pretty solid 7th, gives up 2 base runners to begin the 8th, and now the Harbor Hawks making a move. Their 4th pitcher of the game coming in after this break on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Keystone Place at Buzzards Bay, Bourne's premier senior living community, conventionally located adjacent to the Cape Cod Canal. Visit us at Keystone Place at buzzardsbay.com. Convention Data Services, or CDS, is an event technology company based in Bourne and a proud supporter of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Since 1986, CDS has been delivering customized solutions to the global trade show industry. Keep up with CDS at cdsreg.com, cdsreg.com, and follow them on Facebook and LinkedIn.
I'm Isaiah Jackson, and you're listening to Bourne Braves Baseball Network.
Savor the moment with Portside Liquors. Discover a world of fine wines, spirits, and craft beer handpicked for every occasion. From rich reds to smooth spirits, elevate your experience with us. Unwind with excellence. Visit us today at 590A MacArthur Boulevard, where every sip tells a story.
Crucial spot in this game for all parties. 6-6 your score, top half of the 8th inning. Bourne with runners on second and first with nobody out. 7-8-9 coming to the plate, and they'll face Cade Brown, the rising redshirt sophomore out of Sacramento State.
Brown pitched back in the 29th just a few days ago. Came out of the bullpen late and going 2 innings, 1 hit, no earned runs, a walk and a strikeout. And he's going to be in a spot here where it's first and second. Now that fog starting to go away a little bit, especially in left field. It seems very visible over there, but it continues to come in waves at the moment. And back to the point we said before, it's going to take a fly ball that a player can't see to be the reason to end this game. But Cade Brown can't worry about the fog right now. First and second, both of these squads fighting here in these last 3 innings.
And this will be the 3rd time that Brown will face this Bourne lineup. The last time was on the 21st of July when he went 3 innings of 2-hit baseball. He shut down this Bourne team after Bourne scored 3 runs in the 3rd inning. They didn't score anything the rest of the way, and they wound up winning that game 3-1 over the Harbor Hawks. Now a much high-scoring affair, 6-6 in the top half of the 8th. And David Lewis to the plate for Bourne with 2 on and nobody out. He squares to bunt. He tries to get it down. It goes all the way to the Hyannis dugout. So the foul ball on the first pitch. You got to think you're going to try and bunt again. If you get the bunt down and you're able to do the job, Michelle would go to third, Bassetta to second, and you'd have only 1 away for Cam Kojul and Chris Stanfield to follow.
Scott Landers has been known, though, to go to the bunt in the first pitch and then avoid it if it doesn't work. But we've talked about it. If you're going to bunt in that first pitch, continue it right here. Let's put it down as a sack.
Blake Cavill, the first baseman for Hyannis, playing about 70 feet away from home plate. Lewis does not square, but he takes strike 2. So now Lewis has got to fight with 2 strikes. Doesn't square to bunt, takes a pitch in his wheelhouse. Once again, Michelle at second, Bassetta at first. Here is that 0-2 pitch. It's on the ground softly to the first baseman in Cavill. He makes the underhand throw to first. Cade Brown covering the bag. And that's going to do the job that a bunt would do anyway. It doesn't come in the form of a bunt, but it moves Michelle to third and Bassetta to second.
And at first, you were, thinking, man, you bunt the first pitch, you don't have the bunt sign, you take a off-speed pitch that hung up in the zone. This next pitch was going to be huge to move over these runners, and it almost works out as a bunt right there. So Kojul has the chance here to give the Braves a single that would likely give them the 2-run lead, and David Lewis does a job. You move that runner over. That's all you can ask for in a spot like that outside of getting a hit.
And with the fog looming, you never know when this game could come to an end. Bourne was up by 5 runs in this game. They took a 5-0 lead into bottom 2. They took a 6-3 lead into the bottom half of that 7th inning. The Harbor Hawks scored 3 runs, and now the Bravos a chance to take that lead back. Michelle at third, Bassetta at second, 1 away in the top half of the 8th, with Cam Kojul and Chris Stanfield coming to bat. It'll be Kojul here, who's 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Cade Brown staying out of the stretch. His first pitch to Kojul, breaking ball, top of the zone, a called strike. Brown features a 3-pitch mix of a fastball, slider, and splitter. There's the slider right there. Fly ball to the outfield would do the job for Kojul and Bourne. Here's Brown's 0-1. Kojul goes after the splitter down in the dirt. quickly making the count 0-2.
And that fog, too, if Hyannis can keep the ball on the ground or even force a strikeout here to Kojal, then they can avoid that difficulty of a fly ball in this game ending right now.
2 runners in scoring position for Bourne with 1 away in top 8. Trying to take the lead back. 0-2 pitch to Kojal. It's the slider. He fouls it behind the press box. And you could tell Kojal having some trouble seeing the pitch. He sees the slider pretty late there and just slaps the bat out there to keep the at-bat alive. No batter's eye here at McKeon Park. Just have to fight the trees and the fog. Count remains 0-2. The pitch to Kojal. Slider, he gets just enough of it again to stay alive.
And doing a really good job in the box right now. And whether on that initial pitch before in the slider, Kojal not seeing it well because of the fog or not, it's still just a good pitch. Kojal not stepping with that front foot. It's a protective swing, just fouling it away, spoiling. And Kojal there just getting that piece. A really good fight right now, and an at-bat that means a lot.
Kojal this summer against Hyannis, 2 for 13. He's driven in 11 runs overall. We've talked a lot about those doubles. He's tied for the second most in the Cape with 9. 2 runners in scoring position for him here. And an 0-2 pitch. Fouls it off the plate to keep this count 0-2.
Will be the 6th pitch of the AB coming up, and the foul balls now 4 consecutive here from Kojal, and all these pitches right now have just been strikes on the outer half. That third of the plate is right now where they have gone, as the first base ump being Jeffrey Merzel, he's going to call time here to talk to the umps. And man, if they pause this due to fog in the middle of an AB on an 0-2 count, I think you just let Kojal play right here.
Yeah, this would be some call if they call this game due to fog, or at least start a delay due to the fog.
If you're going to start the inning and you're going to have Kojal here on a 0-2 count and you don't pause it at all throughout this whole AB, to me that would make no sense. That would be very frustrating to see for the Bourne side right now, and even the Hyannis team. And it looks like Jackson West and Kojal are saying, let's just finish this.
And now the coaches are going to be asked to talk with the umpires. Scott Landers, you can see him shaking his head. He's not a fan of what I think he's about to hear, and that's that they're going to send this game into a delay.
You got second and third. You've played this whole entire at-bat, and now you decide to pause it right now. I have never seen that before. We're almost fog-out experts right now, and Bourne has been in the field for all the fog-outs. They haven't had that luxury. There's a conversation right now. You got to think Scott Landers is saying what we're saying right now. Let Kojal at least finish this at-bat. Give him a chance. You start the inning. You get through this whole AB. Why stop it where it is at the 6th pitch of this at-bat?
It certainly would be a puzzling decision by this umpiring crew to call a delay in the middle of an at-bat when Bourne has runners on second and third with 1 away. If anything, you should have just started the delay at the end of the inning, the 7th inning, after Hyannis tied the game up. But still, there's a decision that needs to be made.
Oh, my God.
And they're going to tell the guys to come in. They're going to do a fog delay. And I can't believe it.
You are going to pause the game with second and third, an 0-2 count on the 6th pitch of an AB. That is when they decide to pause this game. They're going to go into delay right now, and I'm going to tell you this. I'm not a meteorologist, but the fog is just going to stay where it is. So Garrett Michelle laughing. Scott Landers can't believe it. That's one of the most unusual calls I've ever seen.
A puzzling decision here by this umpiring crew here tonight. Bourne with runners on second and third with 1 away in a tied ball game. An 0-2 count against Cam Kojal, and that's when they decide to call the game, at least at the time, due to a delay. But we'll take a quick break here on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. The game not over yet, but ladies and gentlemen, the fog is not going anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes here from McKeon Park. Welcome back to the Bourne Braves Baseball Network, and we have a decision. The game has been called due to fog. The game will end in a 6-6 tie, and ironically, that's the second time this summer between Bourne and Hyannis that these two teams tie 6-6.
And it's the second time in the last 2 summers the Braves will end a game in the 7th, this one in the 8th inning due to fog. And last summer it was a Hyannis win. This time it's going to be a 6-6 tie. And that's going to definitely change some more stuff up in the standings. But this one hurts for Bourne. You almost kind of feel like this is a loss for the Braves. After being up 5-0 in this baseball game, Hyannis slowly crawls back. They have a 3 spot in the 7th to tie this game. And Bourne had 2nd and 3rd with 1 out with Cam Kojal in the box. A ground ball is going to give the Braves a 7-6 lead. And this game being called and being delayed during the 6th pitch of the AB does this to the Braves, and it ties this game.
And that's the big thing you look at. Bourne was so close to potentially taking that lead back. They get that chance taken away from them, and the game ends in a 6-6 tie. So now Bourne 18-16-3, Hyannis 22-14-2. There's still that game going on at Spillane Field between Cotuit and Wareham. And, we said it was 8-0 Cotuit in that 3rd inning. Well, now in the top half of the 8th, that game is tied at 9 apiece. So we're still going to have to wait a little bit to see the result there and how that could shape up the rest of the standings. But Bourne will remain in 4th place for the time being, and now a split doubleheader against Orleans tomorrow.
And tomorrow's going to be a grind for both Orleans and Bourne. It's going to be an early one for the Bravos. They'll likely be in Orleans around 8:30 for that 12 o'clock game. And it's going to be one where you're playing 7 innings of baseball. You still want to play your best baseball and still stay hot here down the stretch. This is one that it's going to be a tough pill to swallow for the Braves, even though it's not a loss. It's a tie in the game you thought you had. You're going to have to drain this one right now on the bus ride back, get some rest, and reset early tomorrow very quick. It's going to be one of those days where it's not the early work, it's not the same routine. You're playing back-to-back baseball games, and it starts early in Orleans.
From a 5-0 lead to a 6-6 tie, the game gets called due to fog in the top half of the 8th inning with the potentially go-ahead run for Bourne at 3rd base. Well, that's going to do it for us here from McKeon Park. For our great producer in Jeremy Gay, my partner in Cam Manna, I'm Nathan Schwartz saying so long from Hyannis. The game tonight ends due to fog.